Yay!
Like I did just then. That's how it started. It started with yay. Yay or what's up? This is What's Up with Lucky and Omega. He's Lucky, I'm Omega. Actually, I think I usually write that the other way around, even though that's not alphabetical. Whoa, okay, that's weird. Sorry, I'm a little off tilt today. I had a weird sleep. There was some lawn mowing outside my window in the middle of the morning, which disrupted my sleepification zone, the time of sleep. So I slept in a little bit again. But I exist, and I'm doing stuff.
He exists, and he's doing stuff. Lucky is in the same state. If you had listened to Let's Talk FGO this week, you would know that Lucky was kind of dead. So he had to pull a double sleep shift, as it were. I think I lasted until about 10 p.m. because I didn't want to go to bed too early.
Well, yeah, then because it's like, what, most people, sleep like 8-ish hours ideally, sometimes more.
Yeah.
I know they say you don't catch up on sleep, but when I'm tired, I tend to sleep longer, so.
Yeah. Anyway, I lasted about 10, crashed once, got about like 5 or 6. I was all like, okay, I'm not feeling tired, but I'm gonna make me a sandwich. I'm gonna read me some light novel again, and I'm gonna go back to sleep, and I'm gonna wake up again. Now it's 2. I'm like, okay, now I just need to actually go to bed around like a proper time of midnight to 1, and I'll be okay.
Yeah, it's good. Mm-hmm. I did not do that. I tried to go to bed earlier for reasons. Of also just in general, sleep is good. It did not work, even though I took a melatonin and a magnesium. It didn't help at all, and I think I didn't go to sleep until like 7 for some reason.
Does magnesium help with sleep?
It helps your energy. I take a couple of, helps you relax, get better sleep. I don't know if it actually makes you tired. Melatonin usually does, but gosh. Yeah. I really don't want to go to 2, because, man, that'll go on your ass, but...
No, Lucky's default is 2. And I have the 12... I don't know. I have the 12 milligram capsules, too.
That's a lot.
No, Lucky don't like sleep. His body is all like, no, go up and do stuff. I'm like, but I'm not actually going to do anything, because I am a horrible ADD-addled mess.
I don't know. I might need to tonight juice myself a little strong, especially because we've got caffeine again in the house. But anyway, that's a question for later. Sleeping habits. And it's honestly, most of the time, it's not really a problem for me. It's just that on the weekends, that means that I get less free time. But we are trying to do some stuff with people in a normal capacity. And they're very insistent, and being late would give me hella anxiety, so...
Yeah.
But anyway, that's fine. I'll just set an alarm. It'll be like college all over again. You need to go to sleep because you have class at 8 a.m.
What time? I don't know. Whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll manage something. I'll work something out.
You'll awaken. You'll exist.
Someone play me the Pillar Man theme.
That's all I can do.
Yeah, that's all we can do. But, yeah, Lucky's, I've never been good at the sleep. I have to take melatonin. I actually have I think I've talked about this. I actually have prescribed sleep medicine, but, how you don't want to take, double dose of melatonin, I usually don't want to take that because...
No, if you take real sleeping, that's a whole thing.
Yeah. That is...
They have a technical term for those drugs, but no, that's, a whole deal. That's, don't get in a car, don't do nothing until, at least 12 hours or whatever after you've taken one. Because even if you don't sleep all that time, you're still in the sleep zone.
Hold on one moment, Omega.
Let's hold on. And actually, while we're holding on, let's go ahead and remind everybody this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Adam DeHarp, Comics, Architect 10, Bacchus G, Carlos Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Den, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Rogue Robin, Shawnee P, some guy named Bob, Soda-san over 247, video games, Zach Reed. If you like what we do most of these work, consider supporting the Patreon and get access to this early and lots of video videos that helps us out. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Perfect time. Yeah. So I used that short break in there to get my check, and actually, what does this say you're supposed to do? No, it says serving size 1 tablet. It recommends 1, but these are 3 milligrams I have, and I'm like, no wonder that's not working. I probably should take 2. I think I used to take 5 before. 5 was a good number. 3 might be a little low. I might go to 6. Worst comes to worst, plan ahead.
Yeah. I was usually taking... Well, again, this might be because of how Lucky's body works. His metabolism for food is slowed down, but he still metabolizes medicines and stuff stupid fast. I kind of wish I still metabolized food well, too, because then I could probably lose weight. But...
I also have a similar soak-up medicine pretty good.
Yeah.
Though some of that might be body fat percentage, I could also stand to slim down a little. But it's hard in these times.
Thanks, Backstreet.
Also, it's like September. It's still like 80 fucking degrees outside here.
Oh, actually, no. We are fortunate. Basically, as soon as fall hit, we got the fucking rain. It just dropped on us. It was literally like the rain clouds were like, hold.
We could actually use some more rain down here. We don't get, but
well, it's great because it's the perfect capstone to what is basically like I keep forgetting this sometimes when people are like, "Don't you have any natural disasters up there?" And I keep forgetting that we literally have a wildfire season. I always forget, but and it's always like late summer, like right up to early
dry
fall
season.
Because as soon as fall hits, guess what? That's when we get all the rain, and that's what clears out all the smoke out the air. It really helps on containing wildfires, and
it's all part of the process.
It's all part of the process, yeah.
But yeah, no, like for instance, for my well, everybody in my family I think has allergies on some level, but we have these 24 hours just lurking around, buy them in bulk, secret them away. Well, my mother takes a half a thing of them. And even then, she says that still makes her sleepy. I take a full one of the 24 hours, and I'm like, this doesn't make me sleepy at all. In fact, I feel more alive right now because my sinuses aren't trying to kill me. So yeah, that's always been an interesting one. I've been pretty robust, but I always and do this at home, kids. Always pay attention to your dosage requirements and make sure you're not doing any overlaps or anything, because a lot of stuff you can take can be really bad for you. I think it's like acetaminophen, basically Tylenols and Aleve and stuff. Like if you take more than the recommended dose of that, your liver will like explode right away.
Yeah.
Ibuprofen, I believe you can still overdose on that, but ibuprofen, I believe, is a little lower impact. It's not as good as making you feel less pain, but less likely to explode something. All right, that's been your unlicensed medical advice from Studio Omega.
Well, yeah, let me just adjust my imaginary pharmacology degree over here.
That's just sweet life experience, kids, which we have some. Okay. Well, you talk about your double sleep. I was gonna say earlier, you must have got a good sleep because you seem pretty gung ho to do the record.
Yeah. Well, also because like as we mentioned, we got invited to the secret club and they added me, and I was all like,
no, I felt like jumping in and be like, guys, Lucky definitely said Sunday, but I was like, no, I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Lucky's a grown man; he can handle his own thing.
Yeah, so no, I went and said that, and they're like, well, are you free now? And I was all like, no, I'm gonna go yell at Omega to record. I was like, then I went to go do dishes, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go yell at Omega, so I do not make myself a liar.
No, well, I mean, yeah, I wasn't too much longer. I also figured anyway, if you were alive and awake, responding to things, you would probably want to ask about recording sometime. And I was good. I had already eaten and stuff. But anyway, now we're here. We're recording. So what's up?
It's What's Up. What's Up is what we do. We talk about the week and what's going on, and what's going on is a whole lot of nada, I would say, almost.
I mean, maybe for us personally, there's definitely some other weird things going on. It was this week, but, right, it was this week? I think it was this week. Were we talking about that at a different time?
Mm-hmm.
I believe wasn't that this week? Bethesda buying, Microsoft buying Bethesda?
No, that was last week. I'm pretty
week?
sure.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know anymore.
Because I do remember, I think was it? Because I'm pretty sure we talked about how I thought I was the first one to post about it. Then I had to look it up and was like, no, actually, I wasn't the first one to post about it. Because someone had posted it in like super early morning and I didn't post it until like 10 p.m. at night.
That feels like it was very soon. Here's the thing. We recorded like 4 hours of Among Us in this week. So
it could have been during the Among Us, because I just remember it was during a long record session.
Yes, but we were with people talking for a long period of time. And unfortunately, that's much like us recording APs and all the podcasts, sitting down to do that and do community stuff is just like that. I'm just like, a time existed and we talked about stuff. I don't know when that time was, which one of those times it was, but I know we talked. Anyway, whatever. Bethesda got bought by Microsoft. Will they make?
Wait, no,
games?
didn't we talk about? Wait, didn't we? No, I'm actually didn't. Wasn't it last week we talked about PS4? I mean PS5.
Yeah, we talked about PS5 last week.
Yeah, no. Then it had to be in the Among talk because the fucking deal didn't come out until after that came out.
Right, and so, that was pretty sure that week. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So that's an interesting piece of news, especially considering they paid the price. And a lot of people are saying Microsoft, which I could have told you anyway, because Microsoft has been really gung-ho about buying up third-party studios and putting them under the Xbox banner. But they paid like $7.5 billion, which I gotta be honest, that's more than what Disney paid for Marvel and Star Wars combined. I don't know if it's worth it, but they do publish a lot of Skyrim, and now they can put Skyrim for free on Game Pass, I guess.
Yes, it is literally the largest, the biggest purchase of a video game studio ever.
Which I'm assuming they're really planning on getting that return on Game Pass or something. Like, I'm not entirely sure I understand what Xbox is going for right now. Especially because I believe I think it's Phil Spencer is the Xbox guy right now. He's the lead. I believe he was quoted as saying he doesn't think Xbox needs exclusives, and also they've already said that even though they bought Bethesda, they're going to continue to honor pre-existing exclusive agreements for stuff like Tokyo Ghostwire, etc. Because there were several Bethesda games which were going to be only on PlayStation. Is Deathloop also only on PlayStation?
I don't think Deathloop is. Honestly,
I believe Deathloop has been going hard on PlayStation marketing. I don't know if that's actually exclusive. I don't remember.
Yeah. But I find this super interesting because do you know who else is under the Microsoft brand? Fucking Obsidian Games. So if you smash Bethesda and Obsidian Games, you might get another New Vegas.
Well, at the very least, it means New Vegas can finally come out of the doghouse because I've always heard, and I've seen at least, that it seems like Bethesda really isn't interested in revisiting or doing anything with Vegas or its timeline or anything. And I've always got the impression that Todd Howard and the other anybody else associated with Fallout there was super jelly that people deeply love New Vegas more than Fallout 3 and 4. No offense to 3. It was a great bring back in. But I had this conversation with our community a while ago when talking about the acquisition. 3 didn't really, I think, understand how to do Fallout as good. They had a lot of the karma system and a lot of the storyline beats were very, very black and white and very fixed, and it was very unusual in the setting of Fallout. There were a lot of really clear good guys, really clear bad guys, and your karma system was just that focused, which is weird because that's not how karma was, and as far as I can tell anyway. I said this joke. I'm bad at the original 2 Fallouts, so I haven't explored them very deeply, because they are really wildly different games. Yeah. But at least, as far as I understand in those 2 games, while it was called Karma from Fallout 2 on, it was still just a general reputation system. It was what other people thought of you. Whereas in Fallout 3, holy shit, Karma is like a literal fucking force morality slider, which I personally assume is that Bethesda was like, oh, what RPGs are popular right now? KOTOR and Fable? Cool, we have to have our own super binary good and evil slider. Whereas, interestingly enough, BioWare, despite being pretty famous for the first KOTOR, and obviously doing a lot of interesting things with the Old Republic, really likes to play with their fucking morality scales, right? Like,
Mass Effect had Paragon, Renegade.
Which wasn't really about being good or evil. You could totally be a good person and be Renegade. Renegade was just about, like, fuck you, I do what I want, basically.
Yep. But I think it was a good moral compass.
Mm-hmm. It was good for a game that was ultimately about space opera heroism. Like, you can't become a mustache-twirling villain in Mass Effect. But you can be a loose cannon.
Yes, was you an hero or anti-hero? Kind of shtick.
Similarly,
Chaos Mode!
Dragon Age didn't have morality at all. It measured your morality basically vis-a-vis who thought you were cool. As evidenced by the fact that Morgan disapproved of anything remotely nice you did ever. Except for her. And occasionally you could sass her about it. And then you could sex her. Sassy sex her. Yeah.
Oh, man. Honestly, if there's one thing to do, I need to revisit all of Dragon Age because I need to play the fucking Morgan DLC and see how that affects actually things and Inquisition.
It has a lot of different stuff and things. I really need to pick up the Game of the Year and play the last 2 DLCs, some of which weren't even on last gen. Because I only have Inquisition for my PS3, which I can't even play right now, so I should maybe pick up sometime. Or hey, I don't know, dear Dragon Age gods, I know you're working on 4, maybe. Could you also just, before you release that one, could you give me a fucking definitive Dragon Age experience? On next gen, please, maybe? Do a bundle? Great. I know there's all these rumors and nonsense about a Mass Effect trilogy full-blown, which I also wouldn't mind.
Same.
Like, well, actually, no, I don't think I ever got around to playing the first one, because that was, oddly enough, temporarily exclusive to Xbox. I got in with 2, when they got free for their exclusivity.
Lucky's on the opposite spectrum. I beat 1 and 2, but I never played 3.
3's alright. I understand why people were upset by it, but it had the classic problem of these RPGs, which was, okay, you realize that through the 150 hours of these games, there's like, or more, honestly, maybe more like 300. I don't know, but like, there's all these millions of different plot threads, some of which have switched in the like 5 to 10 years they were spent developing these games. So that actually literally referencing all the things you did was impossible. That said, I do kind of think that, and they fixed this a little bit with the free director's cut, which gave them, like a couple extra months to round out the edges. Sadly, I don't think a lot of people were just turned off immediately by the ending and dropped it, and never went back, which is sad. And hopefully a remaster could reinvigorate that. But I've said this, like, I finished Mass Effect 3 at like 2 o'clock in the morning on the verge of tears, and I think that 3's climax was a good climax for the tone of that game. It was not necessarily written the best to be a climax for the entire trilogy, which I can understand why that left people kind of wanting. They kind of wanted a big payoff to everything. That said, I also think a lot of people had unrealistic expectations between, like, no, this is Mass Effect. Yeah, there's probably going to only be like, well, first of all, there's only 6 options tops in your wheel. It never goes above 6. But also, no, this is Mass Effect. There's probably neutral, do the thing, and then there's do thing goo, and then do thing forceful, and then there's kind of the, oh, did you do the bonus extra thing or bring the right person with you? You can do the extra special do goo. Though the director's cut did add an effect, which was which thematically is very interesting. Do you know, at least having not played it, how Mass Effect 3 ends?
Something, the gates are destroyed?
Well, no, that depends on what you're doing. But basically, there's a whole rigmarole with the Reapers and their ultimate thing, and you get to meet I don't know, he's like the architect, whatever. There's an AI you talk to, it takes the form of a kid that you saw explode and die, who's been in your horrible nightmare dreams the entire game, right? Like, very obvious coding as, hey, this is being picked from your brain, but also means you have to talk to an annoying kid at the climax. They probably should have just made him a disembodied voice or whatever. But basically, you have a couple options to fire the thing. Which in the base game there were 3. There was nuke the Reapers, and nuke all synthetics. Then there was command the Reapers, take them over and turn them into not assholes, because they were originally designed to be a tool to preserve organic life. And then if you have enough bonus points, you can be like, what if we remove all barriers between synthetic and organic life? Which I love, by the way.
Wow, I'm for that.
Yeah, no, synthesis is what it's called, I believe. In the director's cut, they added a 4th one called refusal, where you tell the AI child to fuck off, and then everybody dies. As the story told you for 60 hours, you can't do this without some kind of Hail Mary. So, you fuck off and die, and then basically the Mass Effect trilogy is Liara set up these black boxes for the next cycle, basically telling you, hey, here's what we did, maybe you can not fuck up this time. Which on the one hand, I'm sure some people felt like was good to their moral standing, but man, I do appreciate BioWare sticking to their guns and being like, nah, no, we told you you're gonna fucking die, dude. And who knows what they might do if they do a remaster and like reorganize some of that stuff.
I wouldn't mind that.
Much like what you see this sometimes, I think it's basically a classic anime trope now. Not a plot, really, but second season plot swerve, right? Yeah. We write the first season, and then we realize, holy shit, we get another one of these. And usually that means that you wildly swerve the direction your plot was going. This happens a lot with mecha for some reason. Like, I mostly associate that with Code Geass is known for very notorious for a big swerve. Mm-hmm. Like, what their plans were for a follow-up story were wildly different than what happened getting executed even halfway through the second season, because they kept doing like rewrites and popularity and had to change a lot of themes because I think they got a different time slot. IBO, Iron Blooded Orphans, is another big one where the writers and directors revolved around each other about how many people should be fucking dead at the end of this series multiple times. Like, because the first season ends with remarkably few people dying.
I think only one character has died at this point, I think.
There's a couple of major character deaths, but in the climax, even though there's like all these super big brawls, nobody actually dies, even though you're pretty sure they did. There were a couple of major deaths, but in the actual finale, everybody was like, oh, shouldn't that guy have definitely died? Nah, he's standing there, he's holding his fist in the air. He's cool, he's alive, he's great. So I wonder if maybe the writers or director took that as a personal challenge, because, man, the second season is way more in the abstract, pointless jobbing and dying of loads of characters.
Yeah.
To the point where it wraps into the, everybody should die except the ones you want to die ending. Like they had that weird tonal shift, which I think you said this about IBO. It has not the ending you want, but maybe the ending it needed.
Yeah.
I kind of agree, but in general, it's also, you can also see the very clear, like, oh wow, they really lost the plot of where they were going tonally with this by the end.
Yeah, no, like with IBO specifically, consequences are the results of actions, and I feel like IBO stuck to that. But at the same time, it was like, man, that's a lot of consequence.
Yeah, and also some people maybe kind of skip the consequences. Like, what's his face? Now, on the one hand, Igach Kujan gets fucking crushed, and it's great. I love it. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, a lot of the other... Well, basically, the way I understand it is that at some point, the director kind of flipped on who the bad guys were and decided the orphans were the bad guys, which is really not how the first season goes.
No.
So I feel, like I said, I think there was a thematic shift there, and so I think the ending was originally going to be darker, but the writers were like, no, don't do that. That's not what we've been writing. So it ends out still being pretty dark and abysmal, but we still see some changes.
Yeah, no. Like,
gosh, like I said, there's a lot of pointless dying and jobbing.
Yeah, no, like, I can understand, but yeah, like, there's this weird Season 2 strip where all of a sudden it feels like the Tekkendan's objective kind of shifted, and all of a sudden they were taking this real big risk that could completely backfire on them, and it completely backfired on them. I'm like, what?
Also, what the heck was going on with Choco Man?
I don't know.
That was a very cool narrative that ended up going nowhere because it turned into a really boring fight that I was like, it just ends like that? Okay.
Okay, so he now all of a sudden has a god complex? Or a hero complex? And he's dragged everyone down with him? Cool.
And then there was the whole, like, that guy who was like, died for him, and then the other guy was like, no, you shouldn't die for him, he's just a fucking liar, and he's like, no, he's not, though, he treated me as a person, even though I was an out guy. I was an Outlander, I'm from the Outer Rim. He was cool to me, because he's a cool guy. So it's like, so he is a cool guy, he's not a cool guy? I don't fucking understand. I don't understand what your themes are, IBO.
No. But you look cool, and I'm okay with that.
No, I think that was the first Gundam series I really actually watched all of.
I think I was yelling at you to watch it.
Yeah, possibly, to keep up, but I definitely also checked it out because of other reasons.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like it had some interesting themes, and it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, that was... Mass Effect basically had that same problem, to cycle back to that talk we were having, which was like, very clearly in like 2, there's this talk about like a lot of like dark energy and stars going out. In 3, it completely disappears to double down on the Reaper conflict and the gates and stuff, and it's like, okay, so clearly we had different ideas about what was the, what was the source of what was the kind of the solution to whatnot, and like why people do things, and it got a little muddled. Like I stayed on task, but there's definitely, if you play, especially I suppose if you play all 3 games, you'll probably notice the drop of plot lines. Yeah, no, like the way usually when you do something like as a trilogy, it's usually supposed to be kind of set up as the 3-act structure. You have the setup, the escalation, and then the climax. But the problem is when you have a game like Mass Effect, when they're not sure that there's actually going to be next ones, they don't really do a lot of necessary preparation for the escalation and climax. Right, and also, especially with these big SRPGs, games already have a lot of pre-prep, a lot of pre-production, right? Can you imagine how much longer it would take for games to come out if you had to spend money and time while writers sit around and pre-prep like 3 entries at once? Yeah. No. So stuff changes. You find stuff is too technically hard for this game, but it comes back in a different game, etc. And I'll say that, I mean, like, I still don't know. I know the overall plot, but I still haven't played 1. But 2 is a pretty good jumping in point, and it fits kind of that second act rising tension where it's like, okay, we brought you back to life, Shepard. People think you're dead or a criminal or whatever. Great. So we're gonna, Cerberus is gonna equip you, even though we were kind of vaguely bad guy assholes, and are still vaguely bad guy assholes in this one. but we're going to kind of equip you to take care of this thing because we believe you that the Reaper problem is real and it wasn't just a weird coincidence. Whereas the rest of the galaxy is like, nah, it's nothing. Though I will say, BioWare does have a super bad habit of clearly cutting out important parts of the plot and then making you buy those for $5 or $10. Like there was also, I never played it, but there was also a DLC in 3 about the people who were the first generation who made the Reapers, which was really weird and possibly confusing. And I never played it because it was like $10, and that was back in the day. So again, a complete remaster trilogy would be really cool. Also put back in the 3 multiplayer. I know Lucky never played it, but it was actually really cool because it was 4-man horde mode co-op.
No, that sounds awesome.
And they had some really good classes. Like I think you could play human anything. Like human could be any of the 6 classes, the base ones. And then they had different aliens. So I think Solarians could only be like agents or engineers. Asari could be the 2 biotic classes, or maybe the 3. And yeah, they had a loot box, a gacha style system to like unlock new skins and classes and stuff. But you still built up to them fairly regularly. And they did a lot of free updates, including adding the N7 elite classes, which were like super cool classes. You got to play as one of them was as a liberated collector.
Oh.
Because that was the pre-order DLC, I think. You could he was the optional super special party member was Javik. He was a Prothean who was preserved for 5,000 years or whatever. Who you could recruit. He was cool. He was a cool guy. But they basically put a playable version of him in the multiplayer as like a liberated collector. Yeah, no, there was a lot of cool stuff in there, and it had some fun maps and some waves. You fought like 3 different enemies. You could fight Cerberus guys. You could fight Reaper converts. The Horde guys, and then I think the other one was Geth. So yeah, it was super fun. I had a lot of fun, put a lot of hours in there. So I'd love if you could bring it back, BioWare. Okay, thanks. But yeah, so that was our conversation kind of about re-trilogizing and stuff, because we were talking about Bethesda and their game design, and a lot of people are wondering if Microsoft will force, for lack of a better term, Bethesda to do better. Because that is definitely a core Bethesda thing, right? Only features, no bugs. They're notoriously buggy, and it never ever gets fixed because that's just the nature of how they do things, and that's just a feeling people have about them. And I don't know if Microsoft would actually interfere with that.
I don't know, actually. Like, unfortunately, I don't look a lot into Microsoft's practices and whatnot. Like, I'm usually much more in tune with Sony and Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about how... I know Microsoft does own quite a few studios, some of which are... Well, they're semi-exclusive, because the thing about Microsoft is they are technically a separate company, but they are a branch. Their parent company is still Microsoft. Xbox is technically a separate company now, but they are still owned by Microsoft. So, a lot of stuff that is on Xbox is supposed to be sideways, cross-compatible with games on Windows 10, etc. Like, they've... Which may be why they're not even bothering to push exclusive, because they already know, like, yeah, no, you can already... We deliberately pride ourselves on having cross-compatible. So, like...
Oh, don't worry, Legendary Boss Hunter. I already saw that, and I am pleased.
So it's interesting to see what people are doing what. I feel like this is just a move to, like they are just aiming to spice up their Game Pass library, because I think they understand that that's really the only thing they have going for them. Like, yeah. So, like, and honestly, I don't know enough about the fuck... This has been a problem for a while, I want to say at least for, like, the last 20 years-ish. Definitely the past 2 console generations. We started getting into this pissing match about hardware, but it's so, like, confusing and almost, like, deliberately opaque that I don't actually know what any of it fucking means. Like, last gen there was that talk about all the fucking flops, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. Do normal consumers know what the fuck the flops are about? No, but you're just yelling that you've got bigger numbers so you sound more impressive. You don't even... Some of those marketing guys don't probably even know what the fucking the flops do. They just asked Xbox hardware engineers, hey, what do we have that's a bigger number than Sony? We do this many teraflops? Cool! Flops, bitch! And I'm like... Omega is sitting at home being like, listen, I'm educated in stuff, and I understand technology decently, but I have never in my life heard this term before. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I feel like nobody cared about teraflops until Xbox decided to try and make it a selling point. I don't actually know for sure. I know Xbox says they're more powerful. I don't know if they actually are. I don't know. They've got that weird thing going on with their storage. Like, the PS5 is going to be 1 terabyte native, and I assume it's going to have the same external Madhu kind of just plug a USB in and you can get more storage. But I like, Xbox is like you have to like buy proprietary expansion slot hardware, I think, with no confirmation if you can just plug USB in. But I don't know if their hardware is actually spicier. I don't know. But like I said, I feel like other than their claims about hardware, they don't really have any major selling points right now because Halo Infinite got delayed, right? That was going to be their big launch exclusive, but it's not coming out at launch. I don't think they really have anything else. And at the same time, they're not, at least the way they're marketing, I don't know, they could do a turn, but I feel like everybody should riot if they do like a heel face turn on this. But at the moment, they don't seem like they're requiring studios to get exclusives. They more feel like they're buying up the studios so that nobody can complain if they put their games on Game Pass for quote unquote free. You do still have to pay a service for Game Pass, but this is a conversation that's happening a lot, Lucky, with the games going to $70 and stuff, right? Will the actual game devs get that money? Which will be yes and no, probably depending on the studio.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you have that many bajillion games on Game Pass, there's no way that the people who make those games are being like, other than the fact that you own them and fund them through your other means, there's no way that those game developers are like getting proportionally compensated based on who's playing their games, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like $5 extra a month. Sure, you pull a lot of customers in that way, and maybe you get a good install base, but still, that's not the same as somebody outright drops $60 plus possible monetization and whatever. So I don't know. I feel like that's Xbox major strategy is to get more people to invest in the hardware and in their online services, and then just be like, and then you can just access all these games which nobody can complain about because we own and fund. But I don't know. I'm not actually in any execs' heads. Speaking of video game stuff, well, I don't know. Do you have any more thoughts about Bethesda, maybe?
No, not really.
I like your observation about Obsidian. I do hope that means they release an HD remaster of New Vegas on a thing.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Obviously, if they don't put it on PS5, that'll be a problem for me, because for the moment, my computer won't do that. And I can't invest in cramming new hardware in it yet. That'll be a next year me problem.
Yeah, one thing, like, as I said, with Bethesda now being under the Microsoft umbrella, they might actually be able to get, additional something. I don't know, because that's usually what happens when a studio goes under Bethesda. They usually are like, all right, now we are going to use our massive amounts of money so you can do things better and maybe quicker.
Well, yeah, and I'm curious where that $7.5 billion or whatever went.
Yeah.
Like, was that just Microsoft like buying enough stock to get a controlling interest? I should actually look into this. Microsoft Bethesda.
Who did they take their shares from? But like I said, like, was it like fucking 2 years ago was the first teaser for fucking the next Skyrim?
Yes, though Bethesda has very long things.
Yeah, no. So
I think maybe at the same time they also announced that their own space game Starfield, which by the way was hilarious because I'm not gonna lie, Obsidian probably already made a better game in Outer Worlds, which is actually getting some DLC sometime. I need to look at that.
Yeah, but so hopefully, like I said, like I usually don't wave my flag for Microsoft. I'm usually not that invested in Microsoft games. Really, honestly, I don't think there's ever been really the only Microsoft exclusives that really has ever like made me like look at Xbox and be like, I kind of want that, is Gears of War and Halo. That's it. I don't know, like I don't even know.
But all of Halo is going to be on PC eventually. Eventually, so I'm just like, I cannot do that on my current machine, but I definitely want to, and I've talked about this. I want to, because Lucky is such a Halo virgin, and I've played a few of those games. I definitely want to, because we can do at least 2-man co-op all through that series. I definitely want to do the whole Master Chief Collection with Lucky. And like let's play or stream form in some level, because like that'll be an interesting experience for him to actually see the single player. Because while a lot of people have very fond memories of Halo as a multiplayer experience, one of the classic original LAN party games, put your Xbox in a suitcase and take it to your friend's house kind of shit. It also has a really diverse, and at least for the first 5-ish games, a very well written story. Once 343 took over and they took it out of the hands of Bungie, things got a little shakier, but we'll see if they can bring it back at Infinite.
Yeah, but as I said, like, again, it's like, Lucky has the same feelings about Halo as he does with Modern Warfare. I'll play the shit out of the story player, because at the basic, I like playing FPS. I just don't like playing FPS with other people who I don't know. So, yeah, no. I'm super about that. But,
yeah, so ZeniMax, the thing is they bought ZeniMax Media, who owns Bethesda, and that was apparently a privately held company?
Really?
So I don't know what they did in this agreement. Was it just like, hey, we'll give you this pile of money and then sign this piece of paper that says we own you? I don't actually understand what the transfer was there. But that's very interesting.
Actually, if they bought the private company, then they might have actually picked up more than just Bethesda.
Oh, well, yeah, no. They said they bought ZeniMax Media, so they own everything that ZeniMax owns, which included...
Yeah.
Bethesda.
See, this is what we talk about. This is what we talk about misleading titles. They didn't buy the individual studio.
God, this is a really dumb article on PC Gamer. It was like 19 things that are possible now that Microsoft owns Bethesda. They're all dumb fan servicey things. Ooh, Doom Guy could be in Halo. Master Chief could be in Doom. That's not helpful at all. I guess it was a joke article, but for some reason Google returned it to me very fast. No, it's boring. I was wondering if they might actually have some interesting, insightful commentary, but no, it was dumb. PC Gamer, you've been called out. Your article was dumb and you should feel dumb. Anyway.
So ZeniMax looks like they were a publisher that had it. Let's see.
And Bethesda was a game developer who owned many subsidiaries like Arcane, id.
I don't know. Anyway, but talking about games played together, something that came out recently on the PC and the PS4 is Untitled Goose Game. The co-op has come out, and Lucky has bought it, and then he turned around and bought it for Omega.
Yes.
So
the internet says my computer can run it with no... I've said this before. My main problem with running big boy games is I bought this thing without paying extra cash for a dedicated GPU. It's only got an internal card, which means that a lot of the big boy crazy render shit is just beyond it.
Yeah.
Even though it's got plenty of RAM and stuff, it's mostly a work machine, not a gaming machine, because those are expensive. But I can always, because it doesn't have anything in there right now for that, I could always install one later when I decide to take that step. But yes, it should be Untitled Goose Game is good for me.
Yes. So
shoot, there was another game topic I was going to bring up between then, because I was like, do you have anything more to say about Bethesda? It wasn't the Untitled Goose Game thing. That was my second thing. Shoot, maybe I'll remember in a second. But yeah, we're gonna co-op honk sometime.
Yes. I'll have to set that up at some point. I hope you're all excited. Yes, we will be horrible geese.
We were talking about Dragon Age compilations.
I
remember. There's a lot of rumors about Metal Gear right now. I believe MGS 1 and 2 just got released on PC? Or was it regular Metal Gear 1 and 2? Was it Solid or Metal Gear? Internet. Which one was it? I don't actually know. I've bought those games several times out of their consoles. I'm not going to buy them for my PC again, necessarily.
The first two Metal Gear Solid games are back on PC, but they are not looking their best. That is the first news article that I have seen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is Konami. Well, you think they're going to do a... Nintendo can't bust their ass to make a decent... higher quality remaster of their games. You think Konami is gonna? Konami? Pachinko machines Konami?
I was hoping they put Twin Snakes at least, but...
No, it looks like just 1 and 2. But at least we are revitalizing Metal Gear Solid, and there are this was revealed, I believe, by a Taiwanese rating boards leak, that they were planning on putting Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 on PC. But this has also led to a lot of persistent rumors, including from apparently at least one outlet who has a pretty reliable leaker, that Konami is interested in a full-blown, or somebody at least is interested in making a full-blown remaster, a remake of Metal Gear Solid, the first one. Which in general, a lot of people assume has to be orchestrated by Sony at behest of, with the cooperation of Konami, because Konami has to know that no respecting game industry is going to trust them, Konami. The guys who half-baked Metal Gear Solid 5, canceled Silent Hills, etc., to make a good remake of Metal Gear Solid without any input from Hideo Kojima. I think they would know that they shouldn't bother that. They're just going to lose money.
Konami has burnt bridges, and they have gone nowhere. God. People were literally, this was trending at one point people were screaming at Sony to buy Konami.
Well, when that was because Microsoft had bought Bethesda, and they were like, Sony, you should buy more game studios. Buy Konami. Buy them.
Buy Konami.
Buy them right now. We want you to make Silent Hill Castlevania, Metal Gear, and it makes sense because honestly, for a long time, a lot of those games have been associated with and been iconic to the PlayStation, right? You know, that's one of the classic things. Like I would argue, while it did have releases on, some of them had releases on Xbox. Kingdom Hearts is another big, you know, like Square Enix games in general. They usually got Xbox ports, but they usually got marketed, and a lot of the early ones, as Sony. And that's why Sony bought exclusivity for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Got it for 16, you know, that's upcoming. Like, there are a lot of game studios that, even if Sony doesn't want to acquire them, they should be willing to shell out money and even organize some internal in-house development to lock in some of their classic franchises. I saw a very good argument that, like, no, Metal Gear is a very PlayStation franchise. I bought a PS3 because I wanted to play Metal Gear Solid 4.
Same.
No, like, and boy, howdy, was that worth it. Ooh. God, I clocked so many hours in that game, doing the different difficulties and challenges, and the fucking multiplayer.
I'm sorry, I'm just remembering the fucking power loading screen, though. Oh my god.
We didn't know how to optimize the loading.
Just watch Snake smoke for like 2 hours.
We have to install. Supposedly PS5 is going to be real good about all those loading times and installations.
Yeah, I know, but like, I sat there. I fucking sat there. I waited. I read those tips.
Of course you did. You gotta read the tip. Anyway, there's a whole, like, Metal Gear Solid is a very iconic franchise to PlayStation. Castlevania's been all over the fucking place. Like, a lot of people think of it as a classic Nintendo franchise, but also it had some entries, like Symphony of the Night is one of my favorites. That's, you know, a classic PlayStation game. I've bought it several times, yes. You know, there's definitely some room there for them to make some moves if they did that acquisition. Like, I think somebody had a really good idea of license Metal Gear Solid Remake from Konami, give it to Bluepoint.
Bluepoint usually does pretty good work.
Yeah, Bluepoint, who is currently making well, I suppose they're probably got to be close to done on making the Demon Souls remaster, because that's only a couple months out. But yeah, no, like, they're those guys. And if you've seen those videos, you know that's a really fucking good remaster.
Yeah, no, Bluepoint, literally all they do is basically remasters.
Also, I know a lot of people are wondering when Sony's just going to buy Bluepoint, too, because they do a lot of deals with them.
Let's see here. They did... Yeah, no. Hang on.
Lucky's looking at a list. I'll vamp a little. It's just in general, it's an interesting conversation about the exclusives, because there are definitely some Bethesda games, but, like, at least as far as they've said, Xbox is not interested in blocking out Sony in the future. Like, they will take exclusivity as it comes. They're not going to flip on, like, Ghostwire or any other games they've currently got that are supposed to be exclusive to PlayStation. And it's not like Sony and Xbox can't work together. I think we've gotten out of the era of petty cheap shots.
I think so.
For the most part. You know, there's no, like, it does what Nintendo don't anymore. But because when Google was getting started with Stadia, Xbox and Sony actually announced that they were going to work together to kind of trade information to perfect their own game streaming technology. Not that they had to, but they were like, no, we're in the off chance that this Google thing actually turns out to be a thing, we're not going to get beat in this sphere. But it was okay. The Stadia ate itself and is probably dead. Though Amazon, I haven't looked up that. What's the Amazon Luna all about?
Actually, that reminds me, I need to check my Amazon order. Lucky
Amazon
might have
Luna,
bought, like,
cloud gaming service.
Lucky might have ordered like $85 worth of light novels and manga recently.
He's a madman. Did you also order a copy of Battlegrounds?
I got that off. I got that with a Kindle credit.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Mine is physically pre-ordered. Though Amazon's really, I don't know if this one's gonna magically arrive the day before, because Amazon's being really weird about when it's gonna arrive. They're gonna be like, it'll be here sometime in October, and I'm like, what? This comes out the 29th. You guys sent me this book the day before it came out last time. What are you doing? But yeah, okay, hold on.
Yeah, I got like 6 books coming tomorrow. But no, not Kindle, fucking Audible, because
right,
I'm gonna die on this fucking hill.
Alright, he's dying on the hill.
I am dying on the hill. I'm dumb. Like I keep telling myself I need to fin. The problem is I'm in Aftermath. I'm like, oh no, this all feels bad.
Aftermath is a thing.
Yeah. So I'm just like laying on the ground. Murph.
Yeah. So yeah, no. As far as I can tell, Luna is just Amazon made a Stadia. It seems like. They're basically, it's like Amazon Video, but it's games. They do look like they got a good library. They got Control in here. A lot of indie games. Resident Evil 7 also in here. Everybody's just getting Resident Evil 7. They're gonna have Watch Dogs Legion. Is it just Yeah, no, it looks like it's just their current early access pricing is $6 a month, and it's unlimited. I won't go for that because I would need hardware to run these games anyway, so I can just buy a gosh darn console, which will come with some level of free games. But no, it's an interesting kind of project they're doing. We'll see if it turns out. They are apparently planning on doing some collab with Ubisoft, which is interesting. And obviously, it's Amazon, so it'll have Twitch integration out the wazoo. But yeah, that's Luna.
There they are. Yeah, so as I said, things are looking interesting in the video game world. Also, I guess I would like to put a note, Lucky did pick up Hades from Supergiant Games because he really likes those guys. They make interesting games. They look fun, so I might try to stream.
Hades is definitely the new hotness. I have a bad track record of actually playing Supergiant Games. I own Transistor somewhere. I think it's Steam, on my Steam account.
I beat Bastion, and I never beat Transistor, and I never played their third one. I can't even remember the name. The fucking weird-ass basketball fucking one.
I don't remember it either. But I just times things. I think it was like a couple weeks ago that Vesper bought me Pathfinder Kingmaker, and I still haven't booted it up. I might record that, though, if that's not very intense. But a lot of people are happy about the Hades.
Yes. A lot of people have been playing Crusader Kings 3.
That did just come out. Apparently it's more Crusader Kings, guys.
More Crusader Kings.
If that's your jam.
That is your jam.
What number of civilization are we on?
Are we still on 7?
7 the number 1? I think I have 6.
Hey, Sid Meier.
I do also want to try Beyond Earth, even though it's not as cool as Alpha Centauri. But they don't usually put that one on super.
Looks like they're still on 6, yeah. So waiting for 7. So I think that might be it for video game talk. Is there anything else coming out like super?
I mean, I can, since I mentioned it earlier, I can appreciate / kvetch about Mario 3D All Stars a little.
Go for it.
I've been seeing a shitload of like YouTubers and VTubers and stuff streaming it. Sometimes for the first time. Which RIP them because a lot of them start with Mario 64, and I think I said this before, but man, it is just 64 again. Like, it's still, even though it's quote unquote HD or whatever, it still looks ugly as hell. It's clunky. Mario has wide turns. I think I've basically stalled out in playing the game, where it's just like, gosh, these got my tolerance for Mario bullshit is minimal on this control scheme. It just makes me pine for the what was it called? Was it Mario Super? I don't know. The DS port. I don't remember if it was called like 3D something or Dual something. An effort was made. Anyway, makes me pine for that because that was, even though it was on a DS, it ran a lot smoother than the Switch port and had, better models and cleaner graphics. But whatever. There's a music player. That's cool. Anyway, so I've started playing a little bit of Sunshine, which is pleasant. Plays a lot better. Looks a lot better. Had a lot more story and voice acting than I remember. I feel like I want to go back and check because I watched a little bit of Game Grumps play it. That was one of their classic early Aaron and Dan ones, was Sunshine. Mm-hmm. I feel like there was a lot more story in the intro of that game than I remember watching Game Grumps, so I don't remember if they accidentally skipped it or whatever, or played it off screen or something.
Or maybe they yelled over it.
Yeah, maybe. It also could have been back in the day where it was like, because it did go on for quite a little bit, and a lot of it was tutorials that they just like skimmed over some of it to play the game parts. But there's a lot of voice acting and cutscenes and a lot of weird heat shimmer effect that maybe shouldn't be on literally everything, but whatever, Nintendo. I get it, it's hot. Seriously though, everything is it's so milky and swimmy. I'm like, gosh guys, I get it, it's hot. I need my water gun. But actually playing it's kind of fun. Like, I already remember a little bit from watching other people play it and be like, oh yeah, no, this is pleasant. So I'll probably have some more thoughts on that. I don't have anything else to say about Ghost of Tsushima other than that I am now in Act 3.
How far into Act 3?
I have friends again and I can go south.
Okay.
Not super far, but enough that I can go back around the map.
Was the opening to Act 3 hard on you?
A little. we lost my boy. So much so that they took away my special saddle. It's not an option anymore. They just drive it home. Thanks, guys. On the other hand, I found my Sly Cooper headband, which is never coming off my face. I remember that game. Actually, that's a good question. Does the Sony own Sucker Punch? Or did they just have an exclusive deal?
Sucker Punch?
Much like Jack, Sly was one of those classic PlayStation franchises, and once again, I would really appreciate...
parent organization, Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Yeah, hey, Sony, also, I know I'm sure you've got Sucker Punch probably working on, like, Tsushima DLC or whatever, that update that I still haven't seen anything about, the multiplayer one. Or whatever, but also consider giving them back Sly Cooper and letting them bundle all 4 of those games together with, like, some remaster and stuff. They're a lot of fun, and I would not mind playing them again, and actually on a... Because, shit, that was last on the 3. That was the PS3 was the last time there was a Sly Cooper game. They did a bundle of the trilogy, and then they released 4, which was by a different company, actually. And you could kind of tell because the writing style and game graphic style was slightly different, but it still fit. But it ends on a cliffhanger, guys. You left my boy Sly in the lurch. On the other hand, I think Jak and Daxter is pretty done, but if you could, like, put all those games on one disc, that would be cool, too.
Can we just have, like, a triple pack of 3, 3, and 3? That'd be great.
Yeah.
Just give me 3 Jak and Daxters, give me the first 3 Sly Coopers, and give me the first 3 Ratchet and Clanks. There's more than 3 Ratchet. There's more than 3 Ratchet and Clanks, but I don't need that many.
There's a lot of them, though. We gotta have a limit somewhere.
Yeah.
Though, also, talking about saving things from PSP Hell, if you could re-release Daxter in some form, I would also take that.
So good.
Yeah, I never played it. Good. It was only on the PSP, and it's never been re-released. Unfortunately, I don't know whether it's like an internal decision or just Sony got them, but they really put Naughty Dog to that big story action game grindstone, which is a little sad. There hasn't been any action on Jak for a while.
I don't know. I wonder if they're going to back off.
I feel like the story concluded pretty good with 3, but I could still see those games coming together. And also, don't forget Daxter, and don't forget Jak X Combat Racing. You can forget Jak and Daxter: The Lost Legacy. Nobody remembers that one. That was the dumb one.
Combat Racing was the best.
Combat Racing was a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't know if I ever beat the story in that game.
Oh, I never beat this. I never beat.
I remember that X was fun, but the story maps were fucking hard. Like the story stuff was hard.
Well,
as
yeah,
dicks.
because like they do weird stuff. Because I actually specifically remember this. I got stuck on one part of the story where someone sabotaged your fucking vehicle and you couldn't use guns. It was just like, oh. And like I said, this is the reason why I like these games is because I can blow up other people. I'm like, yes, this is the perfect solution.
Yeah, it was combat racing. You could bully them around, but yeah, no, it was rough and tough. But yeah, no, if we're revitalizing old franchises, as much as I would like you to do that stuff that you don't buy stuff you don't own, Sony. Also remember you do own stuff that people should play again. And again, that's kind of like I said, that's kind of I feel like the point of the PS Plus collection is to like remind people of games exclusive and not that are like. Or first party and not that are like, nah, dude, these define our generation. I would like to define some prior generations. But yeah, I'm still progressing in Ghost of Tsushima and doing stuff. But now that I've got a new map, I need to go through my usual rigmarole of running around and finding all the vanity items and the hot springs and everything. And then I slowly work up to helping out all my friends with their problems.
I was like, I'll be right back. You just sit tight at this temple. Get warm. I am going to climb every fucking goddamn mountain.
Yuna and Jean. Alright, we need to assemble the Avengers and kill Khotun Khan. Also Jean. Hold on, I need to climb to this mountain really quick and get a fire sword. Though, I gotta say, I did that one already, because I always love to do the legendary quests. But man, that one really rustled my jimmies a little with just the way the mountain climbing aspect worked. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I get it's cold and survival, right? But also the interface screw with my screen, considering that everything's already white and I can't tell what anything is anyway. That put me on tilt a couple of times. I'm just like, game, I can't fucking see where to go next. While Jin's like, I'm cold. I'm so cold.
I'm so cold.
I'm like, okay, no, Jin, I understand. I can't. The problem is I can't see. I feel like they could have made that a little. Like they could have just done one of those two aspects. Like either you couldn't see or either it slowly killed you. Whatever. I got over it. Though I'm still salty about that fucking bear.
Yeah, no. I remember that bear. Sudden bear. How fucking dare.
The sudden bear, who, by the way, the bear's default attack is to yeet you. Which in this case, he yeets you right off a cliff. That was a soft reset. I blew that bear up. I shot a couple of explosive arrows at that bear after that. I was like, I know you're there, motherfucker. But But then you got to have a cool fight at the end. Do the thing. Get your last ghost weapon. Or quickfire weapon, technically. It's a little weird that the item is incendiary oil, but it's about the rock. I feel like we got a little bit of disconnect in the lore there. But it's still cool.
Well, I think the rock is supposed to symbolize, the spiritual nature of it. Even though it's probably literally just you're hitting a fucking ferrous rock on your fucking metal sword to make sparks.
Yeah.
But it's the fire rock.
Yeah, it fell from heaven. It's the way of fire. The Mongols have the way of fire. I love that bit of story building, by the way, that the way of fire guy left to go get it explained and went to, China and stuff. Mm-hmm. Which happens to do a very lovely bridging of canon, where it's like, oh no, this is totally a Tsushima thing. But the Mongols stole it from us and are using it against us. That's neat. That's great world. That's great internal world building. And then Jin's like, yes, I will steal it back, and I will use it only to kill dirty Mongols. And then, Omega's just out here setting fields on fire full of Mongols. I gotta say, I get where good old Uncle Shimura's coming from. Man, boy, he guy really needs to get that stick out of his ass.
That's
I know that's the crux of the conflict, but holy shit, dude. I'm I admit, boy howdy, I'm doing some war crimes here, but it's also dude, just relax. You're freaking out really hard and trying to make me do things. And man, wow, you are really dismissive of Yuna, this woman who has literally saved my life several times.
Oh, I don't remember. She's a filthy peasant.
I know,
and the thief.
Yeah, but boy howdy, that's that old his whole noblesse oblige thing. It really rolls right into that classism. I'm just like,
oh yeah,
Uncle Man, you do realize that this lady literally saved my life several times, and without her, you and I would both be dead. But he's like, oh no.
He's like, no, the samurai would have saved us. I'm like, what samurai?
Oh, you mean the purple guy who immediately sass talks me back?
Yeah, no, very.
I mean, I get what he's going for. The first time he has a freak out when, by the way, in a cutscene, you poison dart 2 guys and then fucking slaughter activate a commander. I'm like, no, you're right. It's a little extreme, a little freaky. On the other end, I feel like the mainlander samurai would have been like, man, damn, this dude cool. But anyway, Ghost Dance is fun, guys.
We can go full Kurosawa with that.
Yeah, that's Ghost Dance if you haven't got it, because it can be a pretty far story unlock. Because that ended up being one of the lines I ended up doing last, because it's 3 fucking quests to do the Yarikawa thing. But Ghost Dance is your super ultimate mode. It goes away if you get hit, but if you kill enemies without getting hit, you build up your streak, you can activate Ghost Mode, which, as far as I can tell, means you get to instant kill 3 guys.
Yes.
But you're really, really scary while you do it. But yeah, I've gotten the Ghost Armor. I need to do They have once again given me a big multi-part quest to find pieces of armor, so I'm going to do that one eventually.
Oh yeah, the fucking Mongol armor. The Mongol armor is a little bullshit, because I have used that. It's we need to sneak through this area. Let me just put on this armor.
Let me just put on my cardboard box, my Mongol armor.
And just
hello, fellow Mongols.
And just run through the entire thing. And I do appreciate this, but it's also funny that it never matters about your fucking NPC stuff. It only matters to you. So if you're a Mongol, clearly, somehow, everyone else is Mongol too. Everything has turned up Mongol. Because basically what all the Mongol armor really does is it just makes the fucking detection meter. It doesn't stop it, but it just slows it down.
It just makes it freakishly slow, yeah, I figured.
Freakishly slow. So you can literally sprint through Mongol camps.
Also,
and I have done that.
Shit, Azusa. Sorry, Twitter. Lucky you should see this.
Where?
I've done the retweets. It's also an art video. Just scroll up a little bit.
No, I don't.
But it's Azusa, who is Canis' artist. And just apparently going apeshit.
Apeshit.
Doing one of those compilation posts, the greatest things ever.
You mean compilations of butts? Super important to me. By the way, everyone, remember it's International Curves Day. Celebrate those curves.
Okay, anyway, but yeah, no, so there's a lot of interesting stuff, the ghost armor is pretty interesting, the different stuff it does. Mm-hmm. I also like that I don't think Vesper is here right now, but if they play that far, if they can stop playing Crusader Kings and Kingmaker, that would get to pay off their joke about him having 3 swords. Because you get a 3rd sword for no reason. But as far as I can tell, you do not use.
It's just there for aesthetics.
Yeah, it's part of the upgrade package, but it's cool. It's great. It's very sneaky pantsy. It enables the thing. I feel like they've got a very good balance of the armors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're wandering around, traveling clothes.
I do, and again, I appreciate that they don't have you can't change equipment mid-combat. It's like, no, you can fucking common right in this shit.
No, everything that's not, if it's not a cutscene, you can always access the main menu, which is great. Yeah. And I like to swap out my aesthetics constantly. I'm like, okay, walking, traveling clothes. Oh, is that a pack of Mongols down the road? Execute standoff, switch into clan armor. Oh, do I need to sneak now? Activate ghost armor mode, etc. Stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, is there absolutely no stealth, but I have to fight a lot of dudes? Gosaku armor. Hello, I am Armor Man. And I also pretty regularly change out sword kits, too, just because it amuses me.
Oh, yeah. Again, I super appreciate they have so much cosmetic option. You can be the samurai you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Or the not samurai.
And you get a lot of decent stuff with the different dye kits and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
With a lot of different color schemes.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Okay, yeah, alright. Well, that's video games.
That's video games. Should we talk Gacha, I guess?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
There's also a black Dye Salesman.
Yes. I believe the black Dye Salesman's in the second area, and the white
Yes, he's in Act 2. Yeah. White is in the first. And as far as I know, I have not yet found a special... It's weird. There was a town with a loom and with a dye plant who were all blue themed, but sadly there is no thematic blue dye man there. Missed opportunity. There's just a horrible side quest.
Yes!
I did that one earlier. I'm like, oh, okay. Gee. By the way, I did ghost mode for the climax of that because I had it filled up.
How dare you, bitches!
The guy was like, I'll accept your punishment. And so I just, slam down my right stick and just go, activate ghost mode. Everybody runs screaming. Ah! Yeah, okay, we can talk Gacha, sure.
Alright, right now, Lucky's playing Arknights. He did pretty shit at Contingency Contract, he's not gonna lie.
I gotta be honest, I did too. I really let that one get away from me. I think I missed the last Bybeat coin. Now, luckily, that's permanent, so whenever that comes back, I can still get them. But yeah, no, that one slipped away from me. Go ahead.
I went real hard at the beginning, and I was able to get Bybeat all in one day, and after that, I was just all like...
Yeah, I had a real harm getting 2s. It's made me realize that, gosh, I really need to E2 my Silver Ash, which is what my current project is. He needs some Loxic Coals, though, first. Actually, wait, no, I think I got those. I managed to upgrade. Is it dual chips I need? I think it's chips I need. But now we're back in the cycle where it's not chip day every day, You gotta wait different days for different chips. Mm-hmm. But there were so many of those maps that were like, and this level 2 modifier is somebody gets stealth, and I'm just like, that is just not gonna work for me. Like, I have a lot of really good ranged units. It's gonna really cramp my style if I can't blow them up first. It's much similar to stuff with FGO. It makes me realize that there are things I need to diversify my roster, but it is definitely got me going right to do the thing where I'm like, shit, I really need that. Even if I'm not going to use them all the time, because I've been using Lapland for her silence. The fact that Silver Ash can detect stealth units is just like, this is going to make my life easier in the future.
Yeah, no, that's just his free E2 ability. It's just all like, I see stealth! And then you pair that with his Silver Ash Strike, which is fucking great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tyranno King. I'm saying, I have Silver Ash, he's max E1 right now. I need to actually get my shit together and E2 him for the upgrade. Like I said, I don't plan on using him all the time, just, when the game is like, hey, here's a stealth challenge, I want to be like, I have the thing for this, Like, Arknights is very much the game where, like, you have certain people for certain things. I do appreciate Contingency allowed me to use supports pretty freely, But in general, it's definitely a thing of like, yeah, no, I need to diversify my toolkit again. I think I'm already previewing what's coming up next. I just don't know much about it.
Fortunately. So, Lucky does want to say, he went to play some Arknights, and you ever have that moment where you're just all like, I'm gonna do something fucking dumb. And Lucky went and did something dumb, because he realized that Contingency Contract was slowing down, and that he hadn't got the resources to buy Gavel's and Hoshiguma's costumes. I'm like, I don't think and he was looking at stuff, I was like, I could go real hard on story right now, but that's gonna take me a minute. And then I looked at the store, and I was like, or I could buy this $99 pack of fucking original. Guess which one Lucky did.
Oh, okay. I figured it out. He did the thing where he spent a lot of money.
Yeah. And so I went and bought Hoshiguma's costume, immediately equipped that. Went and bought Gavial's costume, immediately equipped that. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm one of the few people who actually has E2 their Gavial because I like Gavial. I like rough. I like my big rough lizard girl. All right, she's great.
I mean, I like Gavial. I've been pretty lucky with medics. I've been settled into a lot of other medics earlier, and
I was like when I need when I need like my single target medics, I usually have Warfare and Gavial fill that slot. But then I'm like, all right, now I have a fuck ton of coin, and a new banner came out. It's the which one was this? Hang on, actually.
It's got blue poison on. It was a banner I'm completely ignoring because I think I have everybody on it.
Let me pull that on here real quick. Yeah, it's just a display. It had Mostima, Hoshiguma, Blue Poison, and Manticore, and Sora.
Yeah, I literally own all of us.
Yeah, no. I didn't have actually, do I even have Sora? Actually, hang on. Let me see something real quick here. I don't even know if I have Sora. Where's my supporters? No, I still don't have Sora. Okay. So I didn't have Manticore and Sora. So I was like, whatever, I'm swimming in fucking Prime right now. I just yeeted a full fucking temple, and I got Manticore. It's my first one. I was like, yay!
Yay! I don't know how to use her, but yay, she's cute.
She is cute.
Welcome to Arknights. It's either 50% I have absolutely no idea how to use this unit, or the other 50% is I don't own the unit for this.
And then, Lucky sounds like 2 days left on this fucking bagpipe banner. I'm like, she has a fucking gun lance.
Yeah, I can probably with that one. I only got 110 pull and never managed to build up enough red goo to do it.
Yeah, so I fucking pulled until I got bagpipe. Luckily, it only took me like 3 tries.
That's pretty good, all things considered.
All things considered, yeah. So now that I have bagpipe, I'm like, I literally went a little crazy for this. I better put in the work. So I'm literally right now. I just got her to.
Oh, I believe she's decently rewarding. I tried out a couple times in support. I'm not honestly guard 1 vanguards. I'm not super enthused about. I don't usually use them like that. But I mean, she does have some pretty decent power. And if you want to do, it's so weird. Like I usually try a very diverse spread, but there's definitely support in this game to like go crazy and be like, oh yeah, I'm just using like 5 vanguards.
Yeah, no. A lot of people are saying that bagpipe's really good. Like apparently, if you combine her with who is that? Myrtle,
Myrtle, I believe.
Myrtle. It's just infinite fucking DP. Oh, Myrtle and Elysium. You can just go nuts. But Lucky right now is planning on pairing her with Sieg because my Sieg is E250 and my Myrtle is not.
Siege do goo. Siege fucking killing it for me in this contingency, by the way. Like just it in the maps I did, she was usually a critical part of my setup was throw a siege somewhere first and start blocking up enemies. Yeah. Though what was that one map? I think it was the possessed soldiers or possessed throwers. God, those guys were fucking annoying. I hate those fuckboys. That was even a little too much for some of my big beefy units to do. Like I've got like E2 Neural and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I'm getting some more E2s in, but yeah, Arknights is, I guess we're in a little bit of downtime before an event. I should probably try and work on story, but I'm also juggling a lot of things, so.
Yeah, I need to.
I'm not super enthused about crushing.
What is Chapter 5? Necessary Solutions. Have not started. We'll start eventually.
I'm at the same place. Maybe when Lucky starts it, I'll get jealous and start it myself.
Yeah, but I think that's it for our grind. As I said, right now we are just doing the grind. I probably should do some annihilation maps. I've almost completed Annie 3. I'm at I think my best is 392 right now. I'm like, dang it!
It's pretty good.
So close.
Oh, got a new juice to green? What's with all the food?
It's probably because what they do is they take a picture of a food and it's like, all right, add something on top of this.
Well, yeah, no, but just the theme of all these juiceograms is food lately. Like, the last one was
it was like Ice Cream Sundae or something?
Well, I mean, the last batch ended with the fucking Akagi ears.
Yes.
But all of these have been food. Including the back-to-back Shangri-La, which is pretty funny. We can transition into Azure Lane, though.
Yeah, we could definitely transition into Azure Lane.
I'm almost solved with the event. I just need to get, 500 more butterfly good points, which I don't even have to really grind out. I could just do 3 builds every day and clean them out. But actually, let me check what my daily missions are. I need to get 15 victories to get 300 points. I'll play one more map around, then I'll quit for the day. But that's all I need is to get the last bit of points so I can get the first copy of... What is it? Is it Kumano's? Is that one? Which one is it? Names. Bad with names. I mean, I've got it open right now so I can check. Yes, it is Kumano is the point reward one. I got enough points to buy my first copy of Key from the store, which once I get Kumano, I believe I have 100% completion of everybody in this event. Yay!
Lucky needs to finish the points ladder. He got a key on build, but he still needs a, what was it, Suzuki?
Yeah, I believe that's one of the yellow ones.
Yeah.
I like I said, I've gotten everybody now except the one with Kumano.
Lucky did buy the Lucky Bag, and he was able to get the Garlic Bulb costume. I'm like, yes, good. But now I have all these gems. I'm like, I have choices to make. Like I said, Lucky usually only goes big on Iron Blood costumes. Those are usually an automatic buy for him, but he does love mini Sakura costumes, and there was a Shinano, Kaka, and Akagi skin that was like, I want these. This is top percent fluffiness. How dare. But, as I said, I've spent a fair amount of money recently. I'm like, no. Hold, Lucky, hold!
Yeah, I know. I'm being very judicious with my spending, because I've got a couple of pre-orders coming in this month, but also, it's a bit of a combo because now a lot of products I've been interested in buying for Yu-Gi-Oh! Physically have been pushed back to like November. So there's a lot of shit coming out then, and also that's when PS5 drops. So I'm like, let's play conservative with my money. I don't really need to buy that Lucky Bag. I've already been telling myself to stop, so I'll stop. So yeah, no, I haven't gotten any new costumes. Though they did. What was it for? But they gave us a handful of gems.
Twitter.
No, it's a big Twitter one. That's good. But yeah, otherwise the event exists.
It goes on. Things are still weird. I continue to adore Shinano, though. Mm-hmm. Sleepy Fox is good. Now I have Sick Fox, I have Sleepy Fox, I have Cold Fox, and I have Hot Fox. Mini Fox. Oh yeah, then I have Small Fox. I have Mini Fox.
There is an inordinate number of foxes. I need to level them up, and maybe I can do some swap around in my Sakura fleet. I've realized I've been doing, I forget her name. It's the big one. Is it Mutsu or is it the other one?
The one
that the big flagship one that gives you all the bonuses.
Nagato. She's Small Fox.
That's right, Nagato. That's right. Mutsu's her sister. I'm like, shit. I know it's one of those. Which one is it? But I've been running Nagato and still just because they were max leveled way back in the day. Good old Flutie and Scooty. That's still the main line of my Sakura backline. My front line is Ayanami, Takao, and Akagi because I know what I'm about.
Let's see. Alright, so level up. Can we break 50?
I don't know what this Eskimo event is, and I don't know if I care. What does it do? What does it taste like?
Just small points event.
Just some filler, because they gave us quite a lot of time to do Dreamwaker's Butterfly. Like, I think it's still going until, like, the 1st.
Well, I was able to get my fucking bagpipe up to E153, and I have 63 LMD left. 63. I guess it's time to stop.
That's right. When you have no more money, you must stop.
Actually, hang on. Let me upgrade skills here.
That'll be... Oh, I don't know for sure, but that'll almost assuredly be Eagle or Royal for Eskimo.
Oh, nice.
Because the name is Eskimo. Here's the thing about the Brits, especially during the period Azure Lane draws from, they had a lot of letter class destroyers, which is why you get a lot of their ships with Royal. I figured. I'm gonna guess E-class destroyer, because that's their theme is that they would just name them after stuff, which is why you see quite so many Royal filler ships, especially among their destroyers who are just tribal class. Interesting, makes sense. Also, only the British.
I'm laughing internally right now because Bagpipe second skill is high impact assault, so I'm like high impact sexual violence, and then I laugh to myself. I need jokes about this.
In there somewhere.
All right, but no, it's now time for me to play some Azure Lane and not get Suzuki. Honestly, I shouldn't be like banking pools. I really shouldn't, but my brain goes, but you still have cubes. I'm like, but I should save cubes. But you still have cubes.
You still have cubes, and you don't have the ships right now. Spend cube.
Spend cube.
I totally get it. It's usually what I do. And honestly, I'm still throwing 3 a day just to get the free points. You never know when you'll build something that'll save you some time.
What is the new screen? Oh, it's Lucky Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Make sure to respond.
Boy, wow, drowsy.
I am on T4. Oh, I just gotta do T4 one more time. Alright, cool.
There are 2 more maps after that.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't think the gates are necessarily a bad mechanic, but in some of these, I'm just like, there are way too many fucking gates, y'all.
Yeah, some of them are a little confusing. A little shenanigansy. Is it 4 where you have to go in a big circle, or is that 5? That might be 5 where you go in a big loop. There are several that are loop-like, but yeah, no, it's a little just kind of like...
So...
It still exists.
Yeah, so Azure Lane continues to be the fun. Like I said, I just opened up now. I'm putting it into time. It's what I was planning on streaming along with FGO with my dual Gacha stream, because I realized that in the time that I have, because I auto battle Azure Lane just about everything, unless I like absolutely have to.
Yep.
Which is very, very few and far in between. I think like the only thing I actually manual now is the fucking supply runs with subs, because you literally can't auto those. But like in the time for me it takes up to set up an auto battle, I can usually do that in the time that the fucking my attacks and the enemy turn is going in FGO, so I can actually switch back and forth fairly early.
Oh yeah, no, I understand completely. I usually play Azure, I do my daily reps, but I usually play Azure Lane on my emulator while doing something else.
Yeah.
That's great. While we record the show.
Yeah. Like, real talk, no, Lucky was a bit elitist about emulators for a while. He regrets that stance.
I just couldn't, when we started this, I was running on a potato computer, so.
Potato!
Now I have beef PC.
Beef shit.
I need to do like Polka and buy beef router. Did you see that clip, Lucky?
I have not.
But look up like Polka router. She bought like a several hundred or possibly even like $1,000 Asus gaming router. It looks like a fucking evil fantasy villain crown because it's covered in these big spiky antennas.
Oh yeah, I know the type.
Yeah, so she apparently bought one of those, and I don't remember what Botan said, but she asked Botan if it was a good purchase because she was trying to fortify her internet. As that is a problem with many. It's really interesting, especially right now. I'm pretty sure most of these VTuber. Well, actually, I know quite a few are literally, but a lot of these VTubers are just working out of their homes with like live 2D off their special software like runs off their iPhone cameras or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they're just like sitting in their bedroom or living room doing this, like a lot of streamers. But like you think maybe with all the technical, they might not be. I think it's only for like full 3D streams that they actually like have to go to the studio because that requires like rigging setup and I assume free space. But yeah, no, like so. Shockingly, a lot of them don't start with a lot of pre-funding. Like I assume that like Hololive, for instance, is their parent company is Cover. I assume a lot of the Cover the parent companies start their initial investment by paying the character designers, right?
Yes.
And setting up all that stuff and making sure they probably can do the actual VTuber part. Because there are a lot of VTubers who don't have good hardware. Like even in English, I know a couple of them have had internet problems. I wasn't watching the stream at the time, but apparently while Amelia was streaming something on her Switch overheated like 3 times.
Oh, jeez.
Which I'm like, how does that even happen? I own a Switch and I have a very hot workspace, but my Switch has never overheated. So like it's interesting to hear some of these things. Never mind the time that I believe it was Rushia that accidentally ripped out her fucking cable.
Oh wait, I have to retweet this.
But yeah, no, like there's, I was definitely a little not down, but I was a little like I can't really do much with emulators because my machine doesn't. My PC was so crappy it could not emulate a halfway decent phone. It could not pretend to be a phone for a while. But I fixed that. I invested a decent amount of money in this machine. It pretends to be phones just okay. And honestly, it does pretty fine. Like, BlueStacks almost never eats up my CPU or anything or freaks out, even though I'm not running it in, like, low-impact mode. Unless I'm also trying to do, video rendering projects. But that's also because I'm pretty sure that the way my video thing works is that it sucks up literally every bit of CPU you're not using to make the video.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, you have resources? Mine now. My resources. Okay, but I'm going to close Azure Lane for the day because I've got like 9,900 points. I'll wait till tomorrow, build 3 ships, and then I'll get Kumino. Yay me! That's right, guys. I'm still playing and doing the power of Azure Lane. It's a solid game. I've basically stopped playing
Girls Frontline.
Girls Frontline, yeah. I'm still following them on Twitter. I'm waiting to see if they do something interesting. They're really not. It's just like costume gotchas or costume reruns or raid-ups on old units. I think they really must be stalling out for that sequel. I'll have to see what they do. Like, this is one of those things, much like with the event for like Hunter and stuff, right? Like you take these moments in your life and you appreciate it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really missing playing Girls Frontline in my life. Like, it was cool and I liked it, but also it was a huge pain in my ass sometimes. So I'm just like, nah, I'm just fine. Maybe I'll find a different fourth game to rotate to, or maybe I'll only play 3 games for a while. Maybe I'll take that free time to do stuff.
Speaking of which, I know some people in our community are excited about it, and I have pre-registered for it. But Genshin Impact is going to be coming out here very soon. I think they actually said you can actually start doing the pre-download this weekend. So it should be coming out pretty quickly. Lucky's interested in it. I'm still not exactly sure what it's about, but it's interesting that it's free to play and it's on multiple platforms. It's actually on PS4, Switch, Android, Microsoft Windows, and iOS. It's a game that, yeah.
There are some games I know about that. Oh, actually, that's what I could do with my fourth. I could finally play on Myodo, which I've had installed on Steam for forever.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try that out. But yeah, there are a lot of quote unquote gacha or mobile games that do that.
Yeah. So I have pre-registered on my phone, but if it's on PS4, I might try that instead. I'm not sure.
That's a weird one. I might do that because that's just a different screen I can work on.
Yeah. I guess actually I might actually. Here he is. Come here.
He's looking for something.
I was grabbing my PS4 controller. I'm gonna turn this thing on. Yeah, I think because here's the thing. I think I was actually looking onto it. You don't share data between your phone and console, but you can share data between phones. And I think if it's on a console, it's just on the fucking console.
Makes sense.
So I might download it on my PS4 and see if it's something that I would prefer on mobile or something to play while like in one place. Because that's the thing I do. Like I don't play Azure Lane and Arknights on the go. No, usually at that time I'm focusing on Destiny Child or FGO. Arknights and Azure Lane is something that I work on when I'm at my computer because they're very good to auto. Like Destiny Child is also very good.
For Arknights, I will say, especially doing new runs and stuff, that's why I prefer to have it on my phone, because that's a lot more interactive. But I could totally see one of these days having to pull it off my phone, because it keeps wanting to do big updates for no reason and make me download the whole fucking game again, and my phone is just like, nah, I don't have space for that, bruh. Like, literally, I have to clear my cache every time FGO wants to do an update, even though I'm like, you say it's like 45 megabytes, I have like 200 free, phone, what the fuck do you want from me? The phone's like, I want you to make a new 45 megabytes. I'm like, okay, fine. Jesus. But yes, you're gonna experiment with Genshin. Because I'm gonna play games different ways. And that's honestly a really fun thing about games.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm still not entirely sure what it's about, but people see it looks interesting. I'm like, yeah, sure, I can give this a whirl. Like I said, I always like trying new things. Actually, where's the PlayStation Store? I should probably see if I'll get it done before I forget.
Oh, yeah, actually, I should say really quick about PlayStation Store. I did spend $5 and bought Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. I've played a little bit of it. God, that game is really cool. I love it so much. Buy Sleeping Dogs! Anyway.
Like, I've beaten Sleeping Dogs twice.
Yeah.
That's how, for Lucky to beat, actually, what I would say, like, a sandbox, game twice, that's something.
The game is really good. Like, I loved booting it up and just being like, yeah, here we are. Way fucking shed. There's Jackie. Nothing bad will happen to him, I'm sure. Everybody's great. We're gonna do crimes. We're gonna be a cop. We're gonna do cop crimes. I'm gonna find a lockbox with 5,000 Hong Kong dollars, which I'm immediately gonna spend on a new fucking mattress for my apartment. It's great. I love it. Literally, no. By the way, I did that. I think it's deliberately set up that way to introduce that mechanic. I stumbled into a seller who was like, "Hey, you want a new mattress?" And I'm like, I don't have 5,000 Hong Kong dollars right now. I'll be back later. And then I see a glowing blue box on the ground, open it up, it's exactly 5,000. I turn around to that lady, I'm like, new mattress, please. You gotta fucking equip things for your face value. Oh, Sleeping Dogs is really good. Anyway, Lucky is looking at
so it looks... Okay, so it looks like in the PlayStation Store, Genshin Impact isn't there. I should probably look to see if it's somewhere else in here. Let me check here. Lucky's looking around. He doesn't know what he's fucking doing.
Well, since we're still kind of talking about video games off and on, or at least consoles, I would like to throw out that apparently they have announced that Impa will be in the Calamity thing. God,
Age of Calamity.
Age of Calamity, that's right.
Yes.
So they have confirmed that. So I believe that's all the champions, including Link, Zelda, and now Impa. Pretty decent roster. Gonna be some fun.
Yes, I'm excited. She has the design. It is good.
And she does ninja stuff.
Yeah, like, honestly, I'm probably gonna be using a lot of Impa. I'm not gonna lie. Like, literally, like, one of my favorite characters in Breath of the Wild is Papaya, because I think she is a cute and adorable. Great. I fucking love her.
But yeah, no, I like there's plenty of stuff to be had. Like the Breath of the Wild had a very, like, honestly, it has a kind of unique aesthetic for everybody, and some of that's just because it's updated, but also it's like got a lot of its own feel for stuff, and it's got a lot of really good character designs, and honestly, that was kind of a shame of the core game. It's why they did that, I think, the Champions Ballad DLC to do more talk about the champions, because they had these really good character designs, and then was like, oh, but they've all been dead for like 100 years, bruh.
Ah, that hurts.
Just
that hurts.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting move. So, Age of Calamity, they'll be alive until they're not. It's the 28th for PS4, apparently.
Ah, okay.
For Genshin Impact, so you gotta wait a little bit.
Well, let me check on my phone here real quick, man.
But, yep. I'm interested in Age of Calamity. I'm probably gonna play a lot of Urbosa, but that's because everybody should know what I'm about right now.
No, Urbosa is also top percent.
Hey. Though, hey, Breath of the Wild Zelda is super cute, and if she gets to do cool Sheikah Slate stuff, that might be really fun.
Actually, where's that image? I know I have it.
Is it Grab Destiny?
No.
No, you've got a different image in mind. Okay.
Yes. Let's see here. Pictures. Memes.
The old diving into your picture folder. Always a real... Wow. God, I don't... Well, okay, I kind of know why. I had a weird sleep. I'm very low energy right now. It's weird. At least we're getting what's up out of the way.
Did I not organize it in my fuck ton of images that I love? God damn it.
Entirely possible. That happens, trust me. I need to... It's been about a month, I think.
Here it is.
At least a couple of weeks since I organized my FGO folder, so I've just got a bunch of rando fan art from, like... You can tell it's from different places. You can... Because it's like, oh, here's some late summer art. Here's some... And then there's a whole shitload of, Bunny Skahak exploding onto the phase, and then now Proto Merlin, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I really need to organize this into folders. But I'll do that at a different time, because I'm very sleepy now. Actually, I'm not that sleepy. I'm a little groggy and yawny, and sometimes it makes me go, herp, derp, 404 brain not found.
But also...
one single brain cell. Well, yeah, I mean, I brought it up.
Yeah.
Like I said, great character designs.
Yes. Okay. So...
Oh, actually, that's the thing we maybe should mention, because we were talking about you streaming earlier. You were too passed out from your vertigo attack to do streaming on Thursday, but you did randomly decide to stream on Monday, actually. So there's a couple hours of Breath of the Wild streaming. If people haven't seen it, they should check out.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about Breath of the Wild streaming, because there's a lot of me running around, just running around.
I think that's kind of the point. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. If you get some decent feedback or whatever, if you like it.
like people like it. It's like I don't pull in the big numbers. Well, big for us, I should say. But some people like it. A lot of people chatting. But like I don't know. Do people want more Breath of the Wild? I could do that. I could shoot. If they want, I could switch to Hyrule Warriors and Muso all over the place, or stuff. Like I said, I plan on streaming some Hades. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that today. I don't know. Just sudden Hades stream. Here we go. Like I said, I gotta coordinate with Omega for Untitled Goose Game to get our honk on. But...
And tomorrow if we're gonna do that with people, we really should stream that. So
actually, well, I don't know.
What I kind of figured that I kind of reckon what we should probably do is we should just it probably won't help our views overall to do two, but we should probably just do you stream your POV, I stream mine. I just label them appropriately. If that makes our YouTube explode, I'll just record mine to OBS and post it later. But that's what I was figuring. We're talking about streaming Among Us with FGO YouTubers. We're talking about this on Let's Talk. They've already gotten a couple sessions going.
Yeah.
But we're scheduling to do that tomorrow, so hopefully The technical side for us goes fine. We'll see how the game side goes, but at the very least, Lucky, we know what we're doing. Which will be a thumbs up on several other people I have seen stream Among Us just because it's popular. Team 4-Star released a second stream where they got some new different people in who had absolutely no idea how to play the game yet, so it's still kind of like, not know you're doing it Among Us can be a great boon, because you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but also you don't know what the fuck you're doing, so it's always interesting to watch.
Yes.
But yeah, we have some stream plans in the future. I streamed Uno this week, like I said I would. The Uno Dark game.
Mm-hmm.
I made a dumb thumbnail.
Lots of Dark World jokes. Return to Darkness jokes.
Well, we made so many jokes. We made jokes until about the last 30 minutes, at which point we just couldn't joke anymore and just yammered about lore for something completely unrelated, because it was just like, there's no end to the Dark game. We must keep going.
Yummy no game.
Return to darkness.
Return to darkness.
Return to light.
It's like dark mode over light mode.
What was the joke jingle we said we should play every time?
I do not remember.
I don't remember. There was like, I was like, well, for one thing, we were like humming other tunes and stuff, but I said also, if there was a sound effect for entering the Shadow Realm in Yu-Gi-Oh, I should have found it and played it every single time we switched. Because there were times when we switched a lot. Uno Flip is very fun, and I'm sure we'll probably do regular installments of that one, but
I don't know, I super enjoyed it.
I do know that some people are eager to get back to card games, so I will probably go ahead and try that, because I want to get through more of that story a decent chunk before Squadrons comes out, because I am, like I said, totally streaming the story mode of that, because I'm going to play that game a lot, because it is my jams. That is one of my pre-orders. But okay. Yeah, I don't know. We've been talking for about an hour 45. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see here. So, I think we covered that. I really don't have anything to talk about with Destiny Child. It continues to Destiny Child. Yeah, it is. Let's see here. Well, we're coming out. Well, I guess I can mention this. We're coming out of the summer core for anime. We're about to hit our fall core. A lot of good things coming out. Watched many good things. I don't talk as much about anime as usually do, because usually, well, it'd just be me talking. But I will say I have finished many things, and I still have many things to finish. But if you want some recommendations of things that you might have been on the fence about, let me tell you about a couple things here. So the first thing off that I actually really enjoyed, and I didn't think it's kind of a dark horse for me, was Decadence. Decadence, you can find it streamed on Funimation. It is complete. It is, I don't even know what to call the fucking genre. It's kind of, I'd say action drama a little bit. Yeah, and a bit of action, bit of drama. Basically, it's based upon this, mobile city that has to fight this alien race, and there's, this class system between the tankers and the fucking, I can't remember what the fucking name is. You get through episode 1, you get to episode 2, there's an immediate fucking genre shift. I don't want to fully spoil it, because it was pretty jarring and great at the same time. But it goes into a lot of themes of freedom, choice, and what you do with your life, and how you live your life. I said, last episode came out this week. They played the fucking opening theme at the ending. I had some tears. It was great. Actually, where's that fucking... I actually have another meme for this. Right here.
You have many memes.
I do.
Though one thing you already retweeted was when you finish an anime and it's just people lying in the street as it rains.
In the rain,
Very
yeah.
accurate, by the way.
So...
Also, by the way, honestly, people, if it's been a while since you just stood out in the rain, try it sometime. It'll be a little chilly. You'll need a fresh pair of clothes, so maybe don't do it when it's laundry day, but it's very refreshing to just stand out there in nature. Nature's cool, guys. When was the last time you looked at the stars, audience? Anyway, anime.
Look, he's looking at his image, and he realized he saved a picture of Cute Sexy Robot's version of Shuten, and she got fucking hams for legs, y'all. Hams! It's great!
That is definitely how CSR do. It's a very distinct, exaggerated style. Though, I say distinct, there's that other artist, I have no idea how to pronounce it. It's got like an SH and X, a Y in there. Shekshio?
Yeah.
Sheshio? Anyway, you're super cool, but they have a style that's very similar to CSR's.
Yeah.
By the way, you're posting an anime manga.
Son of a bitch!
Like, the first time it made sense. The second time, no. That's okay. We do that all the time. I actually had to I did a little note. I was in technical because I didn't want to make it like an announcement, but I just wanted to, like, because I had been seeing several discussion points and memes for tabletop stuff, not in trad games or tabletop gaming of all kinds channel, and I was like, okay, guys, I just want to remind everybody, trad games exists, and I do actually occasionally get questions about where these kinds of topics are supposed to go, so if you could actually put your topic where it's supposed to go, okay, thanks, bye. Like, not being forceful or nothing, just kind of reminding everybody, like, hey, we got a channel for that. Please use that, because the purpose for the channels is to corral conversations where they should go, and so people don't get confused about where they can talk about stuff. Because that does legit happen, because we have quite a few channels, and boy, how do we got a lot of typing and yelling and posting. So it's definitely helpful to keep things on point.
Oh, that's right, I did finally save this one. Yes.
Which Discord slightly enforces now, because they have that special thing where it's like, hey, if you put too much skin in there, it'll be like, whoa, that's probably too sexy for regular Discord. You gotta put that in art dump. Though it's super funny when people try to post pictures of, like, Azure Lane skins, and Discord's like, whoa, you can't do that. And I'm like, Discord knows what's up. I understand that Azure Lane's horny energy is too much. So you were talking about the anime Decadence while you were digging in your anime folder, or your picture folder. Did you, you got anything else you want to mention?
Yeah.
You said you watched a couple of things?
Yes, shoots. I haven't actually watched the last episode right now, but I'm going to soon. But, I did watch, I am gonna finish, Misfit at Demon King Academy, which is, what's the best word? It's campy. It's super fucking campy. Like, how do I explain this? You know how everyone, everyone likes to, yell at, Shiro for, people, die when you kill them and all that stuff. The main character is someone who constantly says shit, oh, just because you stabbed my heart, you think you would kill me? Oh, just because you think you, eradicated me, you think you have killed me? Oh, you think because just you destroyed my origin, I can't, you think you killed me? He's just that. He's just a person who just says, that stuff all the fucking time.
Which I believe is just a quirk of the way Japanese grammar works, but yes, yeah. It does make you sound very sassy and literal somehow when you say things that way.
Like that. It's very much, it's not, technically it's not an isekai, but it has a 2,000 year, time skip, so it's almost isekai. But, basic story is the Demon King, he's all one day, he's just I'm sick of all this war. It's real not cool. So, I'm gonna gather up all the nations, I'm gonna die, and we'll have, literally, 2,000 years apiece. I will have, 1,000 years apiece. And hopefully, by the time that's done, everyone will have gotten their shit together, and we'll no longer fight. Cool, everybody? Cool. So he says, yeah, but I'm gonna use so much power, I won't be able to, resurrect for, 2,000 years. But hey, I'll come back, and hopefully everything's cool. Bye!
Yeah, I think you've described this one before.
Oh, I have. And as I said, come back 2,000 years later, shit is not fine. And he's just well, whatever. I'm gonna live my best life. And he does, usually by smacking the shit out of people. Again, I really enjoy it because I think one of the things about, especially with OP characters in anime, manga, light novels, is usually they're very strong, but they're also very timid and,
well, yeah, it's certainly a styling of design, right? If you have how do you keep your story or your characters competitive or compelling when they can just do whatever?
Yeah, no. Well, actually, no. I've actually noticed a lot of light novels I read have always said, yeah, we Japanese are a great peace-loving, non-violent people. And at one point, I'm that is utter bullshit. But apparently, they keep trying to hammer this home in their fiction. I was yeah, we don't actually like fighting and stuff. And so usually when they have
well, I suppose it's because of a lot of their current and modern political structuring.
Probably, yeah. But also, you look at that fucking, you look at those same characters, and when they're actually in combat, they just yeah, we have no problem with just destroying hundreds, dozens of enemies at one time. Yeah, nah, it's fine. It's fine. But heaven forbid, I have to hold hands with a girl. But this character, Arnos, is just yeah, no, I'm the fucking shit, yo. Are you trying to talk shit to me? Die. And guess what? Because I'm such a shit, I can revive you and then kill you again. And I'll keep doing this until your mind breaks and you fucking surrender. Because I'm actually the fucking shit. I'm like, I appreciate this. I appreciate this on a high level. Someone who has power knows how to wield it, but is only an asshole to people who are fucking asses to him. Like, there are plenty, like he's pretty friendly to his comrades and, like, people who like him. Like, he literally has a fan club that when he visits are just losing their goddamn mind. And, you know, some people would probably be weirded out, but he's like, no, this is fine. Yes, his former teacher does get wrecked real hard. Because usually he's the character who, even though he is completely overpowering, he doesn't just, like, you know, right? He usually gives people chances. He lets them try. And usually because of how the enemies are, they don't. They're like, no, fuck you. And he's all like, well, now I'm gonna do something horrible to you. Because I have endless fucking magic and can do real crazy shit. Because apparently in 2,000 years, you guys have regressed. How dare y'all? So, no, I really like it. Again, I've actually started reading the novel version. I think it's the web novel version. I don't know if it's a web novel or a light novel. I have to check. Because, like, here's the thing. A lot of times things start off as web novels on, was it Soetsu? And then if they get popular, they get usually a light novel adaptation. Then that usually becomes a manga adaptation. And sometimes it gets an anime adaptation. Shit gets weird.
Yeah.
So actually, I gotta double check.
There is a whole publishing life cycle.
Yes, there is. But as I said, I think they're only doing this one season of it. And I'm okay with that. It's like, it's ending on a good spot. There's always more. But yeah, it's good right now. Honestly, is there anything else of particular note that I've been watching? I've been watching Digimon, but it's fucking Digimon, man. It's good, but it's fucking Digimon. Y'all know Digimon.
Yeah.
And if you don't know Digimon, you haven't really missed much. Yep. I'm literally watching it because I'm having nostalgia about it.
Which is, by the way, that's a weird one for me, because I guess the timing wasn't right, or maybe I just wasn't watching the right channels, but I never watched the first couple seasons of Digimon, so you know, I have different nostalgia. Like, I started actually paying attention to Digimon around the third season, Tamers, and the fourth season, Frontier. So, like, that's the ones that I remember as a kid. Like, I watched bits of the earlier ones because they would be in reruns occasionally, but those were the ones that were actually, like, properly airing, so... But yeah, it's a thing that exists.
Yeah.
Omega actually wants to commit to reading more. I've got a lot of books. I've realized I got a lot of books piled up for stuff that are, some of which is thematically appropriate to other things I'm working on. So I'm like, gosh, one of these evenings I need to, if I can get my sleep sorted out, maybe I need to, like, take some more relaxing evenings and read. Because as you guys know, Omega reads hard and reads fast.
Again, like I said, Lucky has literally, like I said, I've literally bought like $80 worth of books. Mm-hmm. 2 of them were manga. I bought, actually, let me pull up, since we're kind of in that hemisphere of topics. Let's see, let me check my order here. So,
me, I need to make sure the 5th volume of Plus Size Elf came out on Amazon. I should go ahead and order that since I've got the first 4. I think I have room for that on a shelf.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So, for manga-wise, I bought volume 4 of Pochi's The Elder Sister Like One because I love Pochi. I love you. And I also bought the 4th volume of Interspecies Reviewers because even if I'm not actually going to read it right away, I'm going to support this.
Yeah, Amazon keeps trying to sell me that one. I'm not ready to jump in yet because I got other stuff on my list.
Yeah. So I bought those 2. They're going to go on my shelf, and I'm going to enjoy them. I also bought, the next volume of How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. It's volume 7. Like I said, I really like this one. Very real. As I said, he's a realist hero, and so they usually talk a lot about, politics, world building. Well, not world building, domain building, all that crazy stuff. And it's still a big harem story. I'm like, yeah, no.
That's a funny thing. Like, talking about, like, world building, but also story tropes. Like, I just put casual. I think YouTube just threw something at me. I was watching back a couple of OSP videos about missed myths. I just recently watched the Atlantis one. Reminded me of a very funny thing. So the Atlantis story starts in the dialogues of Plato, right?
Yeah.
And it's 100% just an analogy. It wasn't ever supposed to be literal, but people were like, but it's real though, right? But funnily enough, probably the reason why a lot of people thought it was real is because Plato did a shitload of world building about Atlantis, like literally describing the geography of the island and the city and all that stuff. Really, it's supposed to be an allegory about his preferred philosophy of how you should live your life and stuff. But he put a lot of world building into it, and that's always funny, like, to think that's a very old trope. But no, it definitely happens where you're like, oh, well, we have all the plot stuff we need, either because we're actually trying to make an allegory or just we understand that the plot needs to go along. But then this becomes a vehicle for for the writer to also be like, and now let me tell you about medieval castles, or let me tell you about medieval economics.
Yeah. Oh no, like I said, how the realist hero gets a lot on Machiavelli's The Prince and other such things. It's great. Machiavelli's wild, y'all. I'm telling you that.
The Prince is a very interesting book, which you should read, but also not necessarily treat as 100% literal truth.
No.
For many complex reasons.
Yes.
Stories are great, y'all.
Yeah, also
like, always, whenever you read something, always try to remember the context it was written in.
Yes.
Like, when you check out Inferno, it's a real trip, but, it's especially really good to read I recommend reading, like, something annotated or with commentary, because it points out a lot of historical figures who you probably don't know. But Dante knew, because they weren't historical to him. They were literally, some of them weren't even dead yet. They were in hell, because Dante had thoughts and feelings. Dante was a very spicy boy. But no, like, there's a lot of... It's a real trip when authors of their time go down this stuff. Like, yes, Dante did put all of his political opponents in hell, including the Pope he didn't like. Niccolò Machiavelli probably didn't actually necessarily agree with the Borgia style of doing things, but they were paying money and were running his city, so he wrote The Prince as a big love letter to them. But maybe he meant it as a joke. It's weird.
Yeah. Also, yes, Realist Hero has had an anime announced. I don't actually know any details on timeline, though.
Lucky, I'm sure we'll be interested in it when it comes out, if only to compare.
Yes. Also, I got volumes 4, 5, and 6 of Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride, because I got the first 3 volumes, consumed them all, and I was like, fuck, I need more. Apparently, I think there's like 11 of them out right now, but I usually try to get things in 3.
That's a really good, that's a good quality, that a piece is good when you're like, especially with the way light novels are this kind of like thin, lightly serialized thing, right? Obviously, that's part of the format.
Well, yeah, no, they're fucking pillow. Like, we compare them, like, yeah, no, they're pillow books. They're not,
I said, because that was, obviously for a lot of stuff, I need to do a lot of analogies for, like, talking about L5R stuff, and I think I'm too sleepy to do another lore deep dive today.
That's fine.
Just literally go watch the Una stream, guys. Like, literally, that's where it ended up, if you want that talk, this week. Like, I'm not even joking. But I was talking about the concept of the pillow book, which is kind of related to, say, Shanagan's pillow book, but not quite the same. Most Rokugani high literature is written on, like, really long-ass scrolls that are a real pain in the ass to read. But they have... It's not quite like we think of a traditional printed book, because I don't believe Rokugan has the printing press.
No.
They do have a fair number of things, either imported or native, but they don't have the printing press, so they're still all hand-transcribed. But you can get portable books called pillow books, they have, like, 2 woodblock prints that fold up. And you can carry them with you, and you read them at bedtime. And so pillow books in Rokugan usually come in 2 forms. One, they're meant to be portable, easily digestible versions of really, really famous, important stories. Like, there are pillow book versions of the Tao, much like you have a bedside version of your Bible, right?
Yes.
Or there's pocket copies of Akoto's Leadership, because you never know when you need to pull out your pocket Art of War. The other thing is that they are meant to be fantastical, light reading, which is super pleasant. When I immediately compared them to light novels. No, they're not meant to be serious high literature. They're, like, literally popcorn literature. They're, cheesy romances or adventures or travel stories.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's the analogy. But, yeah, no, so light novels are really good at that consumableness, and I think it's a good quality of something when you're like, yeah, so it's the same with manga volumes, honestly, where I'm like, yeah, I bought 3 volumes of this, and now I need to buy all of them.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's how I feel like, Right now, though, I'm actually going to try and finish off the ones that I can, because I'm running out of book space. And, like, here's the thing. I like books. I really like books. I like having books. I like seeing full bookshelves, but, as I said, their space does not equal 0. So I'm like, either I have to build more shelves, or I need to start putting some away.
Yeah, I always have that thought about stuff. Like, I'm the same way. I do like books, and I buy quite a few physical books. Like, I've bought all the L5R novellas physically. I'm going to buy the full-size novel physically when it comes out in December. I've got a book series that's not shelved, one of the series I'm planning on finishing off. I read the first one a long time ago. I think I got that. Oh gosh, shit! That must have been 2 years ago. I bought these books. I bought The Tale of Shikanoko by Leon Hearn. It's a really cool Japanese-style semi-fantasy story. They're great. They also wrote The Tales of the Otori, which is a series I also really love that's in that vein. But I read the first one a long time ago, and I was like, man, that ending was kind of intense. I need to take a $5 before I read the other 3, because there's 4 in this series, that I bought immediately because they were paperbacks, and I think I bought them around holiday time. But yeah, so they've been sitting on my bedside table for a while, and I'm like, I'm writing L5R stuff again. I should get back in the genre. So, I totally understand the physical storage, but then it's like, golly gee willikers, where do I stash this stuff?
Yeah. Honestly, what Lucky is planning on doing for his is when he actually finishes a series, it's the last book he's done. My plan is I'm going to put the books in some sort of box that is protected. Maybe not go full on save, but, make a sturdy storage thing. Put them in there, write a note, this box contains this series, and just move it elsewhere. Put it, like I said, I literally built my bed to have a giant storage on it, so I just might move it there. So all that my books that are on displays are series that are still ongoing, and that, I can look over and be like, oh yeah, I need to finish this. Because, honestly, I don't know, I don't, want to get rid of books. I really, really don't. Eventually one day I would just like to have a big old room of bookshelves and be like, yes, behold!
Yeah, I lived in a house where it was the house we built when I was younger. So it was custom built with a library room. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I would love a library room. But
I'm looking at some of my shelves. I just realized I've got a lot of audiobooks, which I don't necessarily need to get rid of, but a lot of them are on cassette tapes, so I should probably put them in storage somewhere, because I got a cassette player somewhere, but I can put them somewhere else. But also I'm looking at gosh, I've got some old fucking CD cases for CD games. I need to find a different place to store those, so I can use this shelf to store more paperbacks and also more giant PS4 boxes, because I realized my Final Fantasy VII Remake big box is just sitting on its side, and I'm just like, no, I should tuck that in with Extella and Extella Link's big boxes. I just don't have the space right now. I need to move those around. So if I sounded slightly far away at any points, or you hear that cabinet closing, that's me with my computer desk shelves, looking at them, eyeballing them. Storage is a thingus.
Big thingus. So, yeah. Yeah, so lots of books. They're going to be coming in tomorrow, so between the AP, Among Us, and reading a fuck ton, because Lucky will be reading a fuck ton. I got a pretty full day tomorrow. Let's see here. Let's avoid talking about L5R, because despite what Omega says, if I get him talking about L5R, he'll start talking about L5R.
Kind of. I am actually a little bit with the slippers, so I could see that not being as erudite and flowing as it usually is.
But let's see here. Is there anything else about an anime that I want to talk about? I have not fully watched Uzuki-chan, because it's a rom-com. It's something that entertains me, but it's not something that grabs me. It's not something that makes me go, I need to see the next episode. I'm just like, ha, she's small, has big tits, and it's very annoying. Hee hee hee.
Shoot. Now you're talking about stuff. Not on anime, but I was wondering if there's something on Netflix I want to be watching. I'm sure I have a queue up that I should check. I know that they've put both series of Avatar now, both original one and Korra, on Netflix, which I should probably go back and rewatch sometime, because I think I own the first Blu-ray for Korra, but I never got around to buying the rest, so I should maybe watch that sometime, but I don't have time for stuff. What I need to do for sure is I need to sit down and rewatch all of The Mandalorian before it starts showing in October, the new season. So I can be caught up, and also because it's cool.
Speaking of things on that, I did find out that we do have Disney Plus in this house. So I've been slowly watching Clone Wars. I'm halfway through season 1. I was like, again,
first season is a little bit of the slow one.
Also, I kind of feel like I've missed something. Because I've watched Gendy, and I've started watching Slow Wars, and all of a sudden Anakin just fucking has a goddamn Padawan he calls Snips. I'm just like, who this?
There was a movie.
There was a movie. Okay.
There was a movie where Ahsoka gets interested. I don't know if I've ever seen it. It's not really that important. Also, I think I've said this before. The timeline for the first 3-ish seasons are real fucked up. I think there's a guy who gets, there's an episode or two about him getting murdered in season 2, who shows up as a supporting character in an episode series in season 3. They got real goofed up somewhere too. So you gotta be on your toes a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm like, But things are falling. I'm enjoying it. I finally got to see the arc with the village. I was like, this is very on point for themes and whatnot. I love this. Some episodes are definitely better than others.
Yeah,
I will say.
I think it pretty uniformly improves as it goes on, but yeah, it's definitely a little hit or miss in the early seasons. A lot of shows are like that because they're like finding their ground and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I said I will slowly watching it because and we won't talk about it, but I'll talk a little bit about Star Wars. We had the second half of the bottle episode last week. I think that's the only one that has been posted right now. Actually,
no, it's actually I posted all. I caught up.
Oh, we caught up? Awesome.
Yeah, I want to actually clear out, which is good, because normally I export those on Sunday tomorrow, so that's good that I don't do that.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I went ahead and got it out of the way, because I know there was a little bit of backlog, but also I'm like, I don't post these that fast anyway. So I went ahead and did a double posting this week, so you can catch up. The latest is 42, Ace of Spades. It's 4 hours, 14 minutes, and 44 seconds long.
We did a lot of roleplay.
Yeah, a lot of roleplay. And at the end of it, I was kind of like, okay, so I have a conclusion. I have a climax, but I don't know if and you were like, nah, let's do the climax. And I'm like, okay, we're doing the climax.
Yeah, I didn't understand that the climax would actually be a combat and shit going down.
No, it was a thing. There was an actual capstone there, but we did it. So it's a big, long episode.
Yes, it is a big, long episode. Both the clones had some one-on-one RML time, which I super appreciate. I guess they got in their heads that Lucky wanted more roleplay, so they should actually commit to it. And I was like, yes, good.
Well, definitely that, because you had we had a lot of conversation about that. I think the preceding week.
Yes, and they basically said like there was things that we wanted to talk about, we weren't sure how to talk about. And I'm just like, just bring it up, just talk about it. Don't force it, just bring it up in conversation.
And it worked out very naturally, which was good because I think we started with Boots' vignette.
Yes.
And that was very simple the way I wrote it, but I wrote it as an opportunity for role-playing and stuff, and Loth, Boots' player, really ran with that, with a lot of stuff. Part of that was you did enable a setup, but definitely there was, like, he really ran with the opportunity to go up there.
Yes.
Axe, have you never played Metal Gear Solid? You can absolutely bring up somebody's tragic backstory in the middle of a boss fight.
Or right after it, someone will call you and be like, let me tell you this person's story. It's not for exposition. Dread it.
I'll do anything.
I can remember.
If you sass me that it won't, I'll do it. I'll make you have character development in the middle of a fight.
I will say, well, I do think it's, well, speaking about combat, it'd be a little weird, but like, a little weird. All right, we got to stop the initiative so we can have fucking exposition, or
it is in full blown structured time. It can be a little awkward because that can already be time consuming, but there's definitely moments of like characterization that can occur. Maybe not full blown exposition, but yeah, no, you can totally do stuff. But yes, we've already talked about like at times the combat slowdown is very interesting.
Yeah, like usually because we're trying to speed combat along, we really don't stop to do mid combat banter or scream.
Quote trying to speed combat along.
Yeah, trying. Hey, Lucky usually knows what he wants to do by the time he gets there. Usually, unless he has to ask like some qualifying questions.
Yes, I don't know what the other people do though, because there are many other players who have absolutely no idea what they're doing by the time we get to them. And honestly, I think like we talked about this, Marth's transition to his new character Webu very well. I think like we said before, she's not necessarily super talkative, but definitely has characterization much more.
Yes.
And we'll have to see how she does in a combat scenario, because of the one fight in the bottle episode, you guys all went before her once again, and she didn't have to do anything. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But no, what I was going to say was that whoa, that was a very loud thunder rumble. I don't know if you guys heard that, audience. That shook the foundations a little bit loud.
Oh no.
Maybe that's why I feel a little sleepy. Get some pressure changing here. But what I was going to say was that I think part of the reason why Marth was slightly unhappy with his character was that he did always absolutely know what he was going to do in combat, which was he was going to run up and hit somebody with his lightsaber, and that just wasn't very interesting.
Yes.
But there are definitely times when I feel like, well, okay, actually, I don't know. That might just be an Axe thing where he has to think about what he's doing a lot, and he likes to ask people to make sure that he's doing something correct somehow. And Axe, you really don't have to. It's okay. You can just do whatever. We'll roll with it. Just roll some dice and have some fun. Loth, I feel like, deliberately goes last. Like, he's like, I don't want to go. I'll let everybody else do their fun thing. I'll just shoot him. No, that's fair, especially like we said about trying to make combat go faster, but there are some times when by being unsure of what you're doing and not wanting to like rock people out, you do slow down things a little. But
this is the kind of person who's going to be standing at the fucking entry to a store for a half hour holding the door open for people. That's the kind of person Loth is, so...
Yes. I will say, the thing is that Loth and Marth are both very passive players, or at least they are. I say that's in general. They're very passive players. They will engage with the scenario as it engages with them, and if something comes up that's directly related, they can jump in. Like, another thing, we did manage to play into some of Boot's motivations, and like he was a little more reactive and a little more emotive about stuff, which is good. But in general, especially when it comes to combat, they're both the kind of guys who are like, okay, we'll go back. We'll kind of see where this goes. We'll wait a few turns. We'll let Lucky go first because usually he wants to do something flashy. Or your other main thing is buffing. You can squad buff so that people can do their thing better. And mechanically, Axe's character Camo has a reason to go first because he's basically your space rogue. Like obviously we're playing a Star Wars MMO right now, so there's no real rogues, but he's that guy. He's got two guns and he goes first. He has the quote unquote sneak attack. Actually, he doesn't, because there is a sneak attack type thing in Genesis somewhere. I think it's in the Fantasy Splat.
Yep, yeah, that's true. You only got one gun, but shoot real goo. I still think.
Well, yeah, no, you still clocked him really good with your one good gun. You've got one very good gun now, but what I was saying is that Camo has mechanical incentive to go first. He is the ambush guy. Yes. He's about getting you early initiative slots and using those slots to go before any of the enemies. Which is sometimes why I have to make sure that enemies can be a little tough. They can take a few hits, because they're probably going to take at least one. That's one thing I will say. I feel like the game designers aren't really good at working around. I don't feel like the game acknowledges enough the idea that players will almost always get at least one slot first, so any enemy who's worth his salt will take at least one hit, because a lot of enemies can't take that one hit. Like, if a guy has 14 wounds, he's fucking dead. Like, it's so easy to do 14 damage. Like, obviously, there's soak and stuff, too. Like, some of that's because of monetary needs. But it's so easy after a few sessions, or even with the quote-unquote night-level EXP, to get a couple of if you've got the right talent trees, to get a couple of those talents that are like, and you do +3 damage with this gun, and you do +2 damage at short range. So it's like, and by default, weapons, especially blasters in Star Wars, very punchy. That is something I do appreciate. I've heard some people kvetch about this, I don't like that my quote-unquote heroes are vulnerable to stormtroopers at level 1. I'm like, no. Do you not remember the movie? Han Solo runs around a corner, he sees two dozen of these guys, and he runs around the other corner yelling. It's a great scene, I love it. God, Star Wars, A New Hope's so good. Anyway, but no, like, seriously, like, stormtroopers in large squads are a legitimate threat, and they are actually in this game, because rifles hurt. So, like, yes, no, mooks are very glass cannony in this. They're very spongy. You get to kill a lot of them in flashy ways, which is very Star Wars, but God forbid they actually start shooting you. You guys will get taken out. Not killed, but taken out very fast.
Yes.
That'll also be an interesting thing when we get into L5R. It's not quite the same, but it does have kind of a similar system of, they will do minion class enemies and minion groups, like small enemies can group up to give themselves assistance. I don't know if you've really procced any of your combat stats yet, Lucky, but some basic bitch like bandit and peasant stat lines have like endurance 4.
Oh jeez.
So you can get very, very Kurosawa or even full blown samurai gore porn here and just be like, oh, I'm gonna double hand my katana. That guy's fucking dead, like Jesus. In one hit. Like no, like so that's a game where it's very. The way that damage system is written is you do not get to conveniently pass out and get captured when you hit 0 when your endurance is exceeded. That's like in Ghost of Tsushima when you run out of HP and crawl on the floor, and enemies can walk up and stab you. Like it's a little dicier, but it'll be interesting to see the comparisons of like, oh, some of these guys are quite squishy. God forbid you guys use heavy weapons. Like seriously, if you want to beat up mooks with like a Tetsubo, no, that's bad news bears for them. I think isn't a Tetsubo like damage 6 or 7? It's nuts. It's the way the damage and deadliness system works is so great. Blunt weapons do a lot of damage, but not a lot of deadliness. So at worst you're gonna bruise the guy, crack a few bones. Swords tend to be more median. Like they're like, oh, this does moderate damage, but usually has pretty decent deadliness. If you start hitting people for real with a katana, bits will start coming off. But yeah, so it's interesting to see kind of that damage dichotomy, though, because like I said, I feel like for Star Wars FFG, a lot of the NPC designs are really not meant to tank a hit, and I'm like, why, though? Because I've talked about this before. I've complained that almost no villainous mooks have initiative skills, so I'm like, what do you want me to do? Am I supposed to, like, arrange it so there are only ablative mooks before the boss? That's kind of on theme, but also kind of hard to pull off. But yeah, that definitely lends to some weird combat stuff, because I don't want combat to be too long, but I don't want it to be too short either.
Yeah, it's always a balancing act.
Like, I think, even though he didn't get to do his full turn, like, not everybody went, the boss at the end of the bottle episode actually went pretty well, because almost everybody got to do a thing, and we got to show off, and it was actually pretty risky, and you guys were like, nah, let's go hard. Let's go ham. And I think it was thematically appropriate, even if it wasn't necessarily the most mechanically interesting version of that fight.
Yeah.
Also, I got to use Harm on both Clone Boys and slurp their life out, which was fun.
Life-affirming juice.
As I was just like, yeah, so you take 3 and you take 3, ignoring Soak, and they were just like, I
don't like this. I don't like this.
I do not like this touch. This is a bad touch.
Yes, it was the bad
And then Mami Arama just dives in and just like power punch. I think you ended up just clocking him in the jaw and he got knocked out.
Yes.
After he took 2 full bullet blasts from the Clone Boys and was still walking. There's no spoilers here. This episode came out a couple days ago. Yeah, like he was a tough son of a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I literally gave him the Endure Force power, so he walked off a crit like a boss.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys caught it with the throwing knives and the endurance stuff, but that guy was slightly spiritually inspired by Kirie Kotomine.
Makes sense now.
Being a slightly sinister churchman who throws stuff and is just really hard to kill.
You're the Kobe Jedi.
But yeah, that was a fun one. You guys should check it out. I know it's long, but it's worth a lot of it because there's a lot of really good role playing and a lot of interesting stuff. Because it took a little bit. We had a little bit of a gambling subplot that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
The vignette with the drink machine was really fun because I deliberately set that up to be like, and our guy doesn't want Arama to know. So can you do it without the boss noticing? And you were like, can I roll to detect this? And I was like, hold on, let me see how they do. And then I axe rolled like 5 successes and a triumph on his fucking Streetwise, and it's like, no, I don't think you get to roll for this. Can you beat his Streetwise roll? And you were like, no, I don't think I can. No, it was just a shitload of success. That's still a lot of hard to beat in a competitive check. But yeah, you guys should check that out. Actually, Lucky interrupted me in the process of finishing off my NPC stat lens for tomorrow. I'll get back to it later.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're talking about notes.
Yeah, I was in the middle of a stat block and I was like, hold on, let me finish my thought.
Yep.
That one's going to be interesting. We're calling that one New Crime in Town. It's about dealing with kind of the underworld stuff that's cropped back up in the vacuum. Which, by the way, thematically, and I'll let the players know now, or at least the 2 players who are here. They might listen before the game. I don't know. But like, I tried to set this up to not just be straight up, oh, you gotta do the same thing again. Like, this is more of a natural trend of like, okay, you guys removed this stuff, but that means new stuff comes into its place. Because you're kind of changing cultures and attitudes and opportunities on Soholiv. Yep. So I kind of want to make this distinct, and we'll have, it'll be a good chance to pull in some of our recurring NPCs and talk about some stuff. That one's going to be interesting because I went super investigation game, loose, sketchy story design. Like there's a lot of like loose clues and locations and stuff, and not a lot of like stitching together. So I'm really interested to see whether you guys like immediately bump into the core plot or if we take a meandering around.
I'm hoping for column A and column B. Like,
well, yeah, and I can hopefully keep you guys, and the dice can hopefully keep you guys from getting like full blown lost in the weeds. But it's always interesting when I'm like, okay, this is an investigation. There's some clues. There's some suspects. There's some stuff. Where do you guys want to start? Like, just full blown. Like, I know what the story is. What do you guys do? You know, which is I think one of the great strengths of role playing games. That's a feeling that's very hard to pull off in other mediums. Like, I think video games are the only other place they can go, and even then, they can't be purely reactive yet. Though I hear a lot of people are doing fun stuff with AI Dungeon and whatnot. Machine learning's weird, but sometimes pretty cool. But yeah, so no, there's definitely an interesting kind of a thing to think about, where it's just like, yeah, okay, so you guys exist in a space. I know what the clues are. You don't know what clues are. Can you find all of them and lead to the conclusion and do the thing? and obviously everybody usually can, because otherwise the game's very boring.
Yes.
But there's definitely like it's definitely like an interesting thing, a kind of response you can only get from these kind of role-playing games. And hopefully, there should be some interesting different subjects that lots of people can contribute to. We'll see tomorrow.
We will see.
Because I'm planning on trying to get plenty of rest, and hopefully we can. We won't aim to take too long up tomorrow with Among Us, even if we have fun.
Yeah.
But hopefully we got plenty of things to pull in everybody and try out some fun stuff.
Yeah. So,
all right, we've been going for about almost 2.5 hours.
If you want to call it here, I'm good. I don't think I got anything
like
else
I said, I am a little zoned out. I could use some dinner. It is about dinner time. If we don't have anything else to talk about, there's no reason to wax on too long.
I don't got anything. Just about to finish my 23rd box here.
Anybody in the peanut gallery? You got anything? Oh, that's a burp again. Jeez. The peanut gallery seems silent for the most part. Ooh, oh, that's a yawn. That's not a burp. That's a big yawn. Okay then. So let's go ahead and wrap up. So make sure to one, check out the episode of Let's Talk FGO if you haven't already, but you probably have. It's doing very well as I predicted. Perfect prediction. All you need is thumbnails and catchy headlines. But check that out if you haven't already. Stay tuned next week for more Let's Talk FGO and for another What's Up. I don't know what we'll talk about there, but I'm sure something will have happened or something won't have happened, and we'll talk about stuff, whatever.
That's how we do.
That is how What's Up does. And obviously stay tuned for streams and stuff. Speaking of which, let us begin the cavalcade of the outro. And first of all, if you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to give it a like if you liked it. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. If you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to always get our latest videos. And also considering that both for notifications, you always know when we post a new video and when we stream. So just a good old thing to catch on. Sometimes Lucky might decide to stream might put on some of his footy pajamas and decide to stream on a Monday. True story. So yeah, notifications are good. Also, you can now become a member of our channel, get access to emotes, membership badges, and support us that way. It's fun. But of course, as it says at the front of the show, one of the best ways to support us is to support us on Patreon. You can access episodes early in audio format for as little as $1 a month or $10 a year, as Patreon now offers yearly memberships. This is probably the last week you're going to hear me throw that in, unless I forget to not say it, because promo. It's a new feature. It's cool. But you can also get access to videos early, vote in topic polls, access the show live as we record it, lots of other fun stuff. And like I said before, it really helps us out. And will eventually help fund, weird hardware things. This helps us buy games that we can split up between us to do stuff. Just helps keep the channel running, doing stuff. And, yeah, no, I think that's everything. All right, well, we'll see you next week. This has been What's Up. I have been Omega. He has been Lucky.
Been us.
Among Us. Ooh,